Sup, stinkers? How is everyone doing today? Bear with me one more second and you'll be able to see my beautiful face. Well, sort of. I am a VTuber, but you get what I'm saying. There we are. Hi, and hello. Been a hot minute, hasn't it? I wasn't live on Wednesday. I wasn't live last Friday. I gotta be honest with you, wedding prep takes a lot of fucking effort. It's fucking bullshit as well, right? Because I thought it's one of those things where I'm not gonna have to do anything, right? I just sit back, relax. Turns out, not quite what's going on. Turns out, you gotta help a lot. Which now I'm just, you know, taking the piss. Obviously, it was gonna be a fuck ton of work, but yeah, then there's actual work on top of it, which ain't great. How we all doing? Toaster, D, I think I saw Amanax here, Amps here, and Diz as well. Hello, hello, and welcome. How are we all doing, loves? Hey, Stepan. I started rewatching Ben 10 for the new comic. I was not aware that there is a new comic coming out. I used to like Ben 10 when I was a kid. I haven't watched it since I was a kid. Is it still ongoing, or is it like reruns? We vibing? Hell yeah, we vibing. I had quite a good day at work today. Mentally exhausting, but like sort of one of those that makes you appreciate other things that you are doing with your life. You know what I mean? Where are we today? Let's see. For the content, we've got a bit of a mix. We've got this, which I am... Okay, so this is a bit of a fucking mess, because I've only seen the headlines. There's the, you know, war. There's another war going on. You know, USA and Israel are fucking bombarding the shit out of schools. I don't think there's ever been, like, a first strike sort of event that Israel was... Actually, it wasn't even Israel this time, was it? It was America that fucking bombed the shit out of an all-girls school, because of course they did. Have you guys seen Trump be asked if citizens of the USA should be afraid of, like, retaliation, and he just went, I guess, people are gonna die, and then just moved on. Auburn kidnapping bankers? I've read about that today at work. Bro, the world is not okay. Do you know what? I blame the rightos for this one, alright? Because we had it easy. Bro, the biggest concern that you had were these fucking mystical trans groomers that kind of don't exist. And we make all of the culture war just about battling those fucking... Those imaginary fucking scenarios. Which when they do happen, everyone's against them, and... most of the time, they didn't happen, you're just lying. But no, we had it too good. We had it too good, bro. And now it's a fucking mess. Alright, there was a Senate hearing in America, obviously in America, and a Marine had his arm broken when they were trying to drag him out of there, as he was refusing to be dragged out of there. I am very unaware of the broader context that surrounds it, so I will obviously need my American friends in chat, who I hope are all doing fine. You guys do not have it easy, and I feel you. I want you to remember that when I'm moaning about America, I'm blaming you. I need you guys to fill me in on a little bit of context. I know that the fucking Rat King had a take on it, which I'm probably gonna feel some type of way about. And then after that, we've got a healthy mix. We've got a Are You a Liberal quiz by Bo Burnham. No, not Bo Burnham. I thought it was Bo Burnham because I've read Burnham. I think this is a different Burnham. I think I just think about Bo Burnham because I miss him. Probably not Bo though, is it? We've got a few Ab and Preach videos. This one, Epstein Defender has had his computer seized, which I'm obviously curious about. This one, which is going to be a fucking mess. Bride of Charlie. Candace Owens documentary on Erica Kirk. Reviewing episode 1. And we've got 2 episodes which I think are safe to watch. I have it on good authority that we are doing a yoinker bedoink and maybe Jube-Lee ain't gonna know. And it's actually part 1 and part 2 of the same video, which is feminists versus anti-feminists. So I'm gonna have fun with this one because I do quite like the topic. But before we go there, I don't have much brain rot for you today, but I did randomly bump into this on my feed, which I thought, you know what? This is funny enough that I should probably share it with the class. And so Shibuya Kaho makes a Twitter post saying, I'm honored to be an official @Twit ambassador. They have provided me a die-hard introvert in her own bubble with a place to hang out comfortably. And Tectone decided to quote tweet this, saying, Twitch's newest ambassador is an ex-porn star. What the fuck? And then Shibuya Cow responded with, dude, are you the one talking about somebody's sexual record? Which is fucking nice. Because to those of you who are somehow unaware, which I don't think I've got anyone like this in my audience, Tectone is a rapist. And he is from a fucking gene tree of rapists, because his father was one too. I didn't know that was hereditary, but they make a rather strong case for it. Which is just... Dude is thirsted about her on stream. I'm sure he has. And in fairness, I don't blame him, right? She seems to be very attractive, at least to my untrained eye. However, I don't quite see what the fuck her being a porn star, like, what is the issue here, you know what I mean? Like, is it unusual that an ex-porn star is a Twitch ambassador? I suppose so. Is it like, are you not allowed to do that anymore if you did porn? Is that how that works? Because Tectone is still an online content creator, and he's a fucking rapist. I would argue, in my infinite naivety, that being a rapist is a little bit worse than engaging in consensual sex on camera. I don't know, though. Obviously, comments are what you'd expect. Vanilla Gorilla, yeah, no, porn star still worse. Wouldn't go there if I were you. Vanilla Gorilla believes it is in fact worse to be a porn star than it is to be a rapist. Didn't he encourage his ex-girlfriend to start an OnlyFans? Yes, he did. And then after he encouraged his ex-girlfriend to start an OnlyFans, he raped her. I really want to underline that part of it, right? Tectone is a rapist. So just whenever people like this talk about women in any capacity, I just have like this, it's the echo of a wood chipper somewhere in the back of my head.
2025 global homo politics.
If I had a nickel every time it happens, I would have 2 nickels, which is not much, but it's weird it happened twice.
Wait, when was the first time it happened? Is this a second ex-porn star that's a Twitch ambassador? Didn't even know. That's how out of the loop I am, bro. Interesting priorities, yes. How are you doing, by the way, Lua? Okay, I checked the website. She isn't doing an OnlyFans shit even. I'm EP. I feel you, but we gotta endure. We gotta endure. Alright, chat. I mean, Rape Max. Jeez, please do not call it Rape Maxin, bro. Okay, I am down with the fucking Lux Max's lingo, but we are not doing that one. I feel like Lux Maxing exists in this weird dichotomy where it is obviously fucking insane, but it's also like WWE, but with actual real people this time, and not like, it's not quite, I don't know, it feels more interactive, you know what I mean? Like, they've got their own fucking... They've got their own leaderboards for mogging one another. And currently they're doing, what is it, frame mogging. Based on who's got more of a developed, like, back and fucking traps and shoulder muscles.
But it's funny, though.
But it's funny, though. I mean, kind of is. It's grim. It's grim as well. Also, thank you for the biddies. She's an ex-porn star. She used to do Jav porn. That is my understanding as well. Chat, I will let you decide where we start off. I've got the Are You a Liberal test. We've got the Marine in the USA situation, Epstein Defender's computer, Bride of Charlie, or we can jump straight into the biggin feminism debate. What are we feeling like? What are we liking? What are we disliking? Also, I've asked in my Discord, but I'll ask again just on the off chance, perhaps somebody watching the VOD or anyone in chat right now. Do I have anyone in my community who does 3D printing and is somewhat knowledgeable on it? Not, I'm not too interested in resin because that shit's way more like high maintenance and toxic, but I'm interested in the future, right? Pretty far future for now, but I would like to start sort of asking questions with filament printing. Looks maxing just sounds like boys wearing makeup. If it was just that, Andreas, I don't think I'd have nearly as much of a problem as I do. In reality, what was the last looks maxing thing? They would use these iced hammers to bash their cheekbones in to create microfractures in the bones to like reshape what their faces look like. The whole thing is fucking mental, bro. If it was just them wearing makeup, I don't think I'd give a shit, to be quite honest with you. Because like, why would I? You know? Why would I care?
Politics.
Also, Sasha Grey and Adriana Chekic are Twitch partners, if I'm
Twitch
not wrong.
partners and Twitch ambassadors, Stepan, are two different things, to my understanding. Twitch partner is anyone who's met a certain requirement in terms of their concurrent viewership and then was accepted by Twitch into the partnership program. Twitch ambassador is like that's effectively like a spokesperson for Twitch. Whole different thing, that. I've watched about 30 plus hours of videos about 3D printing because I'm too stingy to buy one. I've been looking into that, and I've noticed that there are, like, the affordability is nowhere near as bad as I thought it's gonna be. And do you guys remember a few weeks ago, I told you I bought some Warhammer miniatures because I was playing Spearhead with my fiance. She got into it. So now I've seen the way she looks at some of the minis, and I've come to a very quick realization that after the wedding, which, like I said, months ahead of us still, not really that many months, but still, after the wedding, if I don't want to be permanently bankrupt, a 3D printer is going to make way more sense. I've only just started with the Bamboo printer. Bamboo A1 Mini, I think, is the one that I've seen so many people recommend. And I specifically want the one that uses plastic filament and not the one that uses resin. Because the resin shit is high maintenance, requires higher brain capacity than what I can give. Shit's toxic. I've got cats. I've got humans. I don't really want to fuck with that. You know what I mean? Warhammer theme honeymoon, bro. At the fucking costs of the wedding, there isn't gonna be a honeymoon. Do you know what our honeymoon's gonna be? We're gonna take a week off work and we're gonna sit at home and play board games and have copious amounts of sex, which is, to be fair, eerily similar to my current situation. But there is no traveling that's gonna be involved with that shit. What should we watch? Let's do... I want to leave the marine stuff for a little bit later because that shit's going to be depressing. Why don't we just start with the feminism and then we can nicely ease ourselves into discourse. We can do part 1, then we can do a bunch of other shit for a brain break, and then we can do part 2. I do quite like that. I no longer care about your opinion. That is what we're doing.
This conversation is often reduced to labels. In this episode of The Bridge, feminist and anti-feminist women sit face to face to explore where their beliefs about womanhood, equality...
Oh, that's what you... So it's not a Jube-Lee video. It's just a Jube-Lee format. I dig this. I dig this. Hell yeah. If they aren't copyright striking people, I fuck with this. What even is Jube-Lee other than... What even is Jube-Lee nowadays? You know what I mean? Just yoink the format, do it better. I'm here for it.
And freedom align.
The Marine stuff is Giga Chat though, and we will cover it for sure.
And where they don't. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Daff. Welcome to The Bridge.
Cool.
Welcome, ladies. Thank you for being here today. I want you to just go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Kyla Turner, and...
oh, shit! I didn't realize Erudite's gonna be on here. Bro, this lady named this, what was it, The Bridge? Fucking, this is some connection here. I wonder what it must feel like to be not so erudite and go on a show called The Bridge after, you know, the bridges fell apart.
Feminist.
Hi, my name is Anne. I'm a feminist.
I'm Bella. I'm a feminist.
I'm Ceci. I'm a feminist.
I'm Chelsea Gods. I'm a feminist.
I'm Matrix, and I'm anti-feminist.
I'm Jada, and I'm an anti-feminist.
I'm Savannah, and I'm anti-feminist.
Hello, everyone. I'm Maggie. I do not identify as a feminist.
Hi, I'm Carmen JC, and I am an anti-feminist.
Thank you, ladies. And the first prompt is,
I was
women
already a
have
giga
more
feminist
privileges
before
today
you.
than men. Okay, anyone who feels strongly can speak.
I think women in many ways have more privileges, but they also have more oppressions. And I think both of these things have to be weighed in when you're talking about like people's social power, right? It's really important to understand that women face significant oppressions, significant issues. And so while some of the privileges that we can identify, like courts tend to be more lenient to them, for example, if there's a situation, for example, of custody, women are going to be favored in that situation. They also have less choice with their bodies, right? They have issues where with hiring, if they try to negotiate, they'll be seen as caustic and negative because they're kind of our stereotypical presumptions of how women have to be. And these things impact women significantly. That's just why I would say they have less political power.
Is this good enough, Lua?
As well.
Oh, I can see
just
if
one
I
of
can
those
put it
things
here.
was not true in regards to custody decisions in this country. In fact, men are more likely to receive custody of their children if they ask for it. If men seek custody in a court in the United States of America, statistically, they are 90% likely to receive more custody or possibly even exactly what they were asking for.
Okay, a moment of id polling. Why does this panel's feminist are all white? Why did you censor white?
I would just say that women are not more likely to receive custody of children in court. Men are. Women just are the ones who more receive custody in court.
It's true. It's only 4%. Only 4% of men fight for custody of their children.
And when they do, it's successful 90% of the time. So that would tell me the court actually favors men. I understand that there's like kind of this anecdote that family court does in fact favor women, but it just so happens that women are more likely to want custody of their children. And that's where that mythology comes from.
I would disagree.
It's in some cases, obviously I don't have the, I'm not aware of what the up-to-date stats are. Hey Yoten, how you doing, baby? In some cases, it's not even that women want custody of the children, it's that men don't want custody, which, like, obviously you'd think it's one and the same, but it isn't, right? I can even anecdotally, I can speak of my own old man, because I was raised by a single mother, and obviously my mum from the get-go, you guys know the stories about my mum, she is incredibly pro her children, like I told you the mama bear stories, but for a lot of people, it's not even that like women want the custody. They obviously do, but that's not that's what you'd expect the parent to want the custody. It's the dudes not wanting the custody that's giga fucked, right? Imagine taking a pretty active part in a human being coming to life and then not wanting to take care of them. That shit's fucked, bro. That shit's fucked. I know this. You and me both, buddy.
Agree. You mentioned that men get custody when they ask for it, and that presumes that women don't have to ask for it. Why doesn't it begin equal and men not having to ask for custody if they are actually full parents, just
Sure.
like the mom?
Sure, that's a great question. I think it's really important that we have a conversation that our laws are written by men. Our courts are ruled by men. So if you have some concern about what a court presumes, well, that's a conversation to have with men too. They're the ones who wrote the laws.
I saw you shaking your head.
I just know that my dad got custody of me because he asked for it. And it's a personal experience, it's not everything, but...
Sorry, go ahead.
I completely agree that like all of the laws that we have, we can vote now, but we're still in a system that was designed by men. So a lot of the issues that we have, that men have, are because the decisions that...
You know, so again, anecdotally, I know a lot more dudes who don't want the custody than I know chicks that don't want the custody. It's an important thing, because we can talk about people wanting custody, that's sure, but bro, a lot of men don't want custody of their children, they just don't. Do you know what this reminds me of? Fucking hell. Do you guys remember that absolute fucking loon on Twitter? We were laughing at everyone was laughing at the dude. He was the one who was saying that after he spends, what was it? If he spends more than 10 minutes playing with his kids, he like starts shaking and he needs to go back to work. So he hands his kids back over to his wife. It's just like you just want to be parent. He wants to be a dad for the fun stuff, and that's it. You guys know who I'm talking about, right? That dude was being laughed at by pretty much everyone across the board when it was happening. Fucking
But
wild.
why would you start out assuming 50-50, like that both parents want the kid? Because in a lot of cases, like, men just aren't asking. So wouldn't you want to make the assumption that, like, the parent who pursues custody is the one who, one, feels empowered to, and two, wants to? Because I agree, like, there is a system set up where men probably don't feel empowered to ask for custody of their children, but I think that they should, first of all. But there is a problem, like, you can't just say, oh, it's fully the court system's fault. I think there is a culture that encourages young men to just say, oh, well, that's a woman's job. That's, not my job. Not, if the woman wants the kid, she can have the kid. And I don't know why a court would assume that a father just wants to be a father.
I was going to say, so wouldn't that culture that would put that on men be a result of feminism? Because men would probably prefer to have the women in their household. And also, women are the ones that are more likely to engage in divorce. So men want to stay with these women.
Engage in divorce?
Yeah.
I know this talking point. Bro, I just know all the talking points. It's fucking insane. It must be a treat to be you guys and listen to me be an absolute genius. She said that women are the ones who engage in divorce. Sure, but we ain't talking about why they do it, are we? We're not talking about whose fault it is here. We're not talking about anything other than who initiates the divorce proceedings. Listen to any of the red pill fucking talking points and ask yourself if you're surprised that it's the woman who engages in divorce proceedings. Like, come on, bro. Hey, Silverberry, how you doing?
Yeah, and men are the ones that actually stay because they want their family together. It is women that actually disrupt the family, and then they get upset with the results of a disrupted family.
Or they just want to keep the woman so that she's running the household. I don't know if it's necessarily I don't know. Men can't function as well without women as women can without a man. So I feel like when he hears divorce is on the table, it's going to disrupt his whole life a lot more. And I feel like that's really what they're thinking about.
Women do initiate divorce more. The issue is that they also initiate couples therapy. They also initiate seeking every single other alternative before divorce at basically the same rates as we see with divorce rates, right? So yes, women are divorcing. The issue is that, like, men accepting a loveless marriage with children who are miserable isn't like this thing that we should hold up and go, see, isn't this better? It's like, actually, all of this is unhealthy, right? It's unhealthy that men have been socialized in such a way that they don't think of themselves as fathers first, that they aren't asking for it, right? Whereas in this way, this is where women have been taught for both good and bad, that you are a mom, right? And I think we default to that, which is harmful to women. Okay. But we have to acknowledge that, like, women are seeking off-ramps in these relationships where divorce happens. And the same issues that they say for divorce are happening over and over and over again. And this is a systemic issue. It's not just women want to get out of their marriages. It's that women won't tolerate a loveless, empty marriage, which is not even good for children.
So a loveless, empty marriage, how does the system contribute to what happens in your marriage?
Well, the way that we raise our boys.
Ooh, I'm sure you will enjoy it, Silver. Heads up and enjoy the experience for what it be. I've moved countries 3 times and it's scary, but it's such a fulfilling experience.
Boys, right, for example, is we teach them that your emotions are bad. So think about the way that we raise young boys. The most common way that young boys express their feelings is called externalizing. We see this in clinical data. The way that boys express their feelings, we teach them the only emotion you're allowed to have as a boy is anger. That's the only one allowed. But if you have anger, go to your room. Nobody wants to look at you or deal with you. And so what we've done is we've taught men that their feelings aren't okay, that if they have them, they're isolated and weak for having them. And so the only alternative for them is anger or anhedonia, a complete, like, emptiness and vacuousness. And so in this way, this is how society's contributing to this, because the presumptions we place onto our children that set a course and script for them that destroys their relationships. And men are reporting this. They're lonely, they have less friends, and their marriages don't work out. Men are saying this, not just women.
Really? Well, women do say it, so I mean, I don't understand why it's always like the men, because the men aren't emotional, because the men aren't this. Like, the women are the ones that want to leave. So
but women
what
want to leave, and maybe we should.
I'm sorry, that was a long-winded way to saying that you have no idea why you're there. What was that? You said nothing. You said nothing. What happened? Well, it might be happening for a variety of reasons, but it's the women who want to leave, so what gives? Well, what gives are the reasons? What a strange thing that was.
Why? Because men are responsible for 90% of the violent crime in the U.S.
I feel you,
like, we always
Silver,
talk about women and what we should be doing.
I was a kid though when it was happening, so it wasn't so much a choice of
I
mine.
talk about feminism a lot, and I get so sick of it because I don't know why we're not talking about men. We're always focusing on women and what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing with men. They're responsible for 95% of domestic violence, 93% of sexual assaults and pedophilia, 88% of homicides, 85% serial killings, 98% of mass shootings. Could I go on? And 77% of assaults. They are responsible for so much, and then we sit here and want to make women feel bad for wanting to leave that man. I don't know why we always are focusing on women all the time.
Well, because their solution is always to leave. It's never to
Not
stay.
always. Sometimes they want to have therapy, and the man doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, and therapy is such BS because you go to a couples therapist and they say, "Oh yeah, you should leave your husband."
That's not
the
true.
solution. Yes, that is.
Have you been to couples
always
therapy?
the solution. No, and I will not go to
okay. So you're
couples
just making
therapy.
assumptions.
I have
Great.
heard so many stories. I've seen it. I've seen it online.
Yeah, if you have a marriage and couples counselor and they are just recommending divorce, which is not true. I've gone to marriage counseling and they didn't recommend divorce. If they're doing that off the hop, that would be unethical. You can actually report them for that. They're trained for more than this. A marriage counselor got trained to see marriages be happy. Right? The thing that they want is a fixed, rectified marriage. Sometimes that can't happen for a number of reasons. However, the idea that marriage counselors are just telling women to divorce their husbands is so far from any of the literature that reports on this, so far from the ethics these people are trained on, is basically taking an entire field of care workers and saying, you actually just want to destroy the thing that you care for, which is it's just not true.
Okay, I need to ask a question to both sides. So, ladies on this side, do you believe that the gender gap pay is still real?
No, it's not. That's been debunked so many times.
Okay. And ladies on this side, I'm sorry, I want to hear from you on this side.
I think it's real if you just look at statistics. A lot of people say like, oh, well, women are just choosing different jobs. And it's like we're raised to idealize different jobs. But even then, it's like women...
If I remember correctly, back when this was being spoken about a lot, I think that gap exists. It's just significantly smaller than those dogshit stats we're reporting, right? Because people were coming up with some like fucking insane comparisons. But once you account for everything, how people pick different jobs, how we've got this, and that, and the other, I think it was still there. It just wasn't quite as big, but it was still present.
If you have a child, you're now also working, and you have a child, you're not going to work as much. So it's like, that's to blame. The gender pay gap is huge, and the whole, I think it's like 75 cents on the dollar is just for white women. It's less for Hispanic women. It's less for black women.
That was the stupid statistic. 77 cents to a dollar. That's the one that's just a dog shit statistic. Just like from a genuinely analytical standpoint, that is a dog shit fucking statistic. The gap still exists though.
It changes. It's very real.
But you think that they're choosing like hospitality jobs because they were raised that way, or because women just naturally like those jobs
Well,
better?
like, let's say like nursing. Nursing used to be a male-only profession. They wouldn't let women work on women's bodies at all. Became more female-dominated, and now men don't even want to be in that profession, so then they lower the pay because it's a woman's job. Same thing with teaching. It used to be just a male-only job. We wouldn't let women teach. Women got into it, suddenly the pay drops for it.
Well, and not to mention, in addition to things like the gender pay gap, we also now see that women majority professions are being attacked education-wise, as the Trump administration just made it so that you can't consider nursing a professional degree. Audiology is no longer a professional degree. Yeah, and making it harder for you to get student loans because they've maxed.
Why is that true? Is nursing not a professional degree in America anymore? That can't be right. Starting July 1st, 2026, the US Department of Education is reclassifying nursing as non-professional in federal financial aid, lowering graduate loan limits from 50 to 20 grand annually. What? Why? Out of all There are so many dog shit courses in academia, and it's nursing that we're gonna take issue with? Fucking nursing? What is going on in America? What? Why? There's got to be a logical reason for it, right? There's got to be. It's fucking retarded is what that is. Why?
How much you can get in student loans, and all of these affect women more than it affects men. Well, if you're a chiropractor, great job. That's still a professional degree because that's a job that most men would seek. But if you're going to be a nurse,
No, come. I'm googling again. Bro. Doctor of chiropractic is considered a professional degree, and nursing isn't. Well, it won't be, rather, from the 1st of July. Oh, my lovely Americans. My lovely Americans. I feel for you. What the fuck, bro? I don't even.
well, that's a job most women would seek. Now you don't get to have a loan for the amount that you need. That's an example of a gender pay gap. That's an example of like what happens when you're taking opportunity away from women and women not making as much or being given as much in a loan or whatever.
Do you on this side feel that you can support women and not identify with the feminist movement?
Not if you like pants. My mom taking opportunity away from women and women not making as much or being given as much in a loan or whatever.
Do you on this side feel that you can support women and not identify with the feminist movement?
Not if you like pants. My mom went to school, and until middle school, she had to wear a skirt every single day. That is one generation. That is my mother. If you're wearing pants, you get to wear those in public because people like my mother were part of the feminist movement.
Fucking base, though, I'm not gonna lie. I had mixed feelings about this lady to begin with. I like her now.
I would respectfully disagree here, right? So like I worked in an addiction center. I was an addiction counselor formerly. It was for women. It was a Christian center, right? What you'll often see is that some of the most like dominant nonprofits for women are often religious in nature, and that tends to lean towards like the right side. Most of the people that I worked with didn't identify as feminists. They obviously helped women. I also obviously disagreed with them on a lot of stuff. I think that when women dislike feminism, it's because they have issues with specific feminists, or they, in my mind, have like some misinfo that they believe in, right? But like, of course, you can be like a person who cares about women and not identify as a label. I would just say, come to my side. You probably do agree fundamentally with my presumptions about what feminism should be for and what it is.
Anyone have anything to say about that on this side?
As far as being a feminist and supporting women, I don't think the feminist movement supports women at all. I think it actually harms them. It's told us that sexual exploitation is empowering and that we should kill our offspring if it's an inconvenience to our life, and that marriage and family are not important anymore. I mean, it's completely destroyed everything that's been unique about womanhood.
So the alternative is like, let me get my ass beat, take my Xanax, and raise these kids when I don't want to. Like, what's the alternative for women who aren't happy at home? Like, that's what I don't understand.
Women are pill popping more now than they were in the 50s. They're more depressed than they were. Yes, this is completely.
And men are 4 times. Women, yes, 2 times more likely to be on antidepressants than men. Men are 4 times more likely to kill themselves.
Why do you think that we're more likely to be on antidepressants?
Capitalism, the way the world is, the economy. I'll tell you right now, the economy controls the mood of a country. The mood of the country sucks because the economy. Capitalism is the actual enemy here, not feminism.
I like these, bro. I'm brain rotted by Jube-Lee, because Jube-Lee always invites fucking retards on the show, and every time you sit down and you genuinely like start enjoying the back and forth, you get an absolute fucking troglodyte coming in. And I understand why that happens, right? I understand the appeal, the desire, right? That probably is what drives a lot of the comments. I like what I'm hearing though so far. From the feminist side, I like it. They've properly fucking stacked the bench, is what it feels like. Sometimes you'd put like a weak link on here. We just haven't gotten to that one yet, maybe, because currently it's all just fucking absolute vanguard unit.
Feminism was just a human rights movement like the civil rights movement. Black people should have equal rights. What's the difference between a woman and a black person? It's just a matter of, no, you want equal rights as a human because you should have them. I should have them too, right? It was just a human rights movement. It was focused on the gender, and then we focused on the race, and we all came up. I don't know why everyone can't come up together.
Yeah, I feel like there's a huge misnomer on what feminism is. Feminism is not me telling you to go abort your firstborn son. I don't care what you do with your body. Feminism is you have the opportunity.
Bro, they fucking nailing it out of the park on every single one of these. Usually, that would have been the full stop and they wouldn't talk about this, right? That would be what I do, so that I can provide any fucking value for the people watching. I can't provide any value here. We might as well just play this video and I'll play a game in the background. Hey, Goro, how you doing, buddy? How's life? How's everything? I hope you're faring well.
To do what you want because of, you have a bank card because of feminism, you get to wear pants because of feminism, you get to have a job because of feminism, you get to get out of the house if you want to because of feminism. This is not about like trying to control your life. There is more room for people who are anti-feminists in the world of feminists than there is for people like me in your world. I don't care if a person wants to go have children their whole life and that's what they want to do. Most of my friends are stay-at-home moms. Many of my extremely liberal friends are stay-at-home mothers. And do you think I denigrate their decision to sacrifice their life for their children? Absolutely not. I'm a mother myself. But I also want to have the opportunity to work if I want to, because for me, that's where I find happiness. There is space for you in our movement, but there is no space for us in yours. We're inclusive.
Bro.
Feminism is not telling you what to do with your life.
Yeah, you
Feminism
can have
is
a baby.
letting
You can get
I'm gonna get a half chub. Is that inappropriate? I feel like as a VTuber we can get away with a lot of things because you can't see me, but fuck me.
married.
Do
whatever
what you want with your life.
It's just a fucking
I
tag
agree,
team
though. I
there.
agree. Do whatever you want with your life.
Feminism is letting you do what you want with your life, and I don't want to tell you not to get married when you're 19 and pop out 7 kids if that's a thing that's going to be happy for you, but I want to offer people the opportunity that they can also do something else if that's what makes them happy.
So
I'm not. That's the thing. I ain't even looking. I'm all tabbed currently. I'm just listening.
This side was feeling or was speaking in a way that felt racist. Can you speak to that?
So when you said something about the difference between women and black people.
As far as human rights.
Can I speak or are you gonna keep cutting me off?
Yeah, go for it.
Right, thank you. That's like one of my.
Oh, did she welcome her? I think she did, right? Hold on.
Cutting me off.
Yeah, go for it.
Right, thank you.
She did. You welcome her. Ooh.
It's like one of my main issues with feminism is like even Susan B. Anthony, like she compared white women to the black man and she felt a way that black men got the right to vote before white women. And that's like also something that I don't agree with because white women think they're superior to black men, you know? Why do you need the right to vote before our men? That's the question I would ask.
What the fuck are you? What the fuck is... She's aptly named. She's the lady that's named Matrix, right? She is. She's on a different level to everyone else here. She's in a different conversation as well, but I can see... Good still as well. I can just see myself in them.
I'm saying everyone should have it at the same time.
But why do you have to
I'm not talking about when it happened. I'm saying everyone is a human.
It was just
Doesn't
you just
matter your
throw in
race or your gender.
This is the thing.
I feel like you should be able to live your life the way you want. That's the feminist movement.
But why did you have to
choice
bring
now.
up black people? That's what I'm trying
Because
to say.
it's a human
because you're
rights
performative.
movement. I'm comparing.
Because you're performative, babe.
Okay,
You're
I'm
performative.
comparing human rights
Oh,
movements.
Jesus, what
Black
a fucking
people,
loser. What a loser. Oh, she is... She's used to talking to a different caliber of a person, though. You can tell from the way you can tell she oof. Is it oof?
Exist. Women exist.
You don't have to
I
speak
think
on it.
both of them
Don't speak on it.
Why? It's a human rights movement. That's what we're
It's
talking
not
about.
productive. I'm telling you, I don't like
It's not productive to talk
it.
about human rights movement and compare the two when they're just about equalizing things for people so that we can all come up together.
I'm letting you know that it's offensive. I'm telling you that it's offensive.
It's offensive for me to say that women should have the same rights as black people.
Yep, it is.
It's offensive for me to say that all humans should have the same rights as everyone. That we should
That's
all
not
have
what
the same
you
rights.
said. There's a difference between everyone
Literally
and black
right
people.
now I'm saying everyone, I don't give Sorry, what your skin color is, what's between your legs, I don't care about any of that. I want everyone to be able to make the decisions they want for themselves and have the same rights. I don't want you to have any less rights than me.
She clarified it. Oh, she is... Jesus. They threw me here, though. Because this lady's walked in, she's got like those weird hairpins, and she's got the collar of a shirt over what appears to be some kind of a cardigan, like a weird, like a skull attire vibe. Then this lady's got pink hair and red lipstick, and you're expecting, like the Big Red from back in the day. You're expecting them to just like start saying weird fucking shit, and then for you to obviously not like any of the shit that you're hearing. And usually I'd be molding if this was Jube-Lee about somebody doing exactly that and painting feminism as some fucking insane movement, and that's just not happening here. We got bamboozled, chat. What a lesson this is in not judging a book by its cover.
I don't want this guy to have any less rights than me or more. Everyone should be even. That's fucked up for me to say.
Okay, good.
Could I just ask, I'm just curious what's racist about the statement that I want women to have the same rights as black people? I'm just, because you said that's racist. I'm just curious what's racist about that.
Because first of all, you guys classify women as second sex, right? You guys think women, this comes from the feminist movement. We look at women and we say, oh, we're treated as second-class citizens, we're treated less than men. And so it's a little bit dehumanizing to say, for one, you want to fight for women to have better rights, and then to look at black people, which isn't just black women, that's black men, our men, that we need to be, we expect our...
Erudite's looking at her like she's retarded. Oh no. She pities her. That's what this is. She's not even thinking that she's like stupid or less than. She just feels sorry. Oh no. Oh, what was... Oh, this has got to feel... This cannot feel good. What are the comments like on this video? I am not a feminist as here to speak about their opinions. This debate made me realize I'm firmly a feminist. The concept of women of color being anti-feminist is sending me out. Couples therapy would just tell me to leave my husband. Have you ever been to couples therapy? No. The anti-feminist people rage baited me so bad.
meant to be strong.
The type you don't want to call retarded, that is genuinely true. It verges on that point where, like, it feels like we're entering descriptor territory.
And for you to say, oh, well, women deserve the same rights, black people should get the same rights as women, there's this culture in black culture where our men are constantly emasculated, right? So I'm very, very, I mean, my husband's a black man, so I'm very intentional about how we speak about our black men, and I don't like that.
I wasn't talking about just black men.
But you need to be mindful, okay? Since you're a liberal and that's what y'all are about, you need to be mindful.
I didn't say anything racist. I didn't say anything like that at all. You're trying to misconstrue. Now you are getting my twisted.
Thank you for. Did she answer your question about what offended her?
I don't feel like and I'm not trying to be.
I know you're trying to actually understand.
I genuinely understand.
Part of the conversation offended her, and I think
it wasn't you. She said something.
No. I understand it wasn't me. I'm trying to understand. You said the statement, I want women to have the same rights as black people. I'm trying to understand what's racist about that.
I think
because you wouldn't say that about a white man.
It's the men part, I think, that got added to.
You don't have to say women and black people and then not speak on what about the black men? You know what I mean? I don't understand why you do that. Can someone speak to this? Am I crazy?
Did anyone else, did any other ladies on the set feel that same way about that statement?
I think she's just
I think the worst, I don't even think, I think I'm kind of understanding what she means. I just think the way she got all fucking aggro about it was weird. It clearly is a thing that she cares about, and she felt some type way about it, and then she started projecting a whole load of bullshit. It's not even that her take is, has no value. It's more just... The moment the pink-haired lady explained her position, that should have been the end of it. That should have been the, you've clarified now, this is it. That's, full stop. I'm confused, please explain. I think she's talking about how the statement that I want women to have the same rights as black people, creates some kind of, a further classification, when in reality, black men don't have the same kind of power as white men do. So when you say, but then that would make her, that would bring her back into the feminist, right? Because they do know that, like, white men have, that's the bit, I'm not understanding it all the way through. I think I understand the gist of her issue. Like, it's a system of categorization that ignores certain people almost by painting them as not part of that class. Because, like, I want women to have the same rights as black people would almost imply that black women have some kind of a right that white women do not. Do you see what I mean? I think that's what, at least part of it is where she's at. It's just she did a dog shit job explaining it, and then the pink-haired lady clarified her position like 3 times, and then that should have been the end of it.
Kind of referring to, like, women should have the same rights as everybody. Why do you have to single out black people or black men?
The reason I see
black men
not
have
men,
the same
right?
rights
First off,
as
I didn't
everybody
say
right
men.
now,
The
and women have the same rights as everyone. We're equal right now. So how far do feminism have to go before you guys see that we're equal?
But you want to, I'm not talking about you guys, because I don't know where you stand as far as anti-feminism, but there are people that are actively working to take our rights away, so that we are backsliding into time. That's why
as
I'm
far
here.
as, like, what, abortion?
That's
repealing the 19th.
Getting rid of the women's right to vote.
The 19th is never going to be repealed. I think people are trolling.
Never say never. But she's right. I meant everyone should have the same rights. And I only brought up...
Hey, look, there's a bit here cut, but you can just... I don't like how some people here appear not to fall into stereotypes at all, and some people appear to fall into stereotypes, but they're good stereotypes. She's saying this lady over there understands, and it's the very motherly looking black lady that understands.
But she's right.
This
I meant
video is
everyone
giving me
should have
such
the
a
same rights.
backlash.
And I
A
only brought
whiplash,
up
sorry.
black people because of the civil rights movement happening around the same time. These were human rights movements. We all tried to come up together, which I love, and I think we all should have the same rights. I don't think that's a...
Yeah, I don't think you
now.
had ill intent. I don't think you had ill intent. I'm just like, we need to be careful about how we speak when we're bringing in black people, because we're always constantly attaching every civil rights kind of movement to black identity. Like, we're all...
Are you not doing that by being anti-feminist? Are you not attaching certain connotations to that, which are misconstruing the movement through your own lack of effort? That seems like a fucking grimly ironic complaint to have.
Always the LGBT, everything. It's always connected to black people. And so I'm just like, no. That's what I'm saying is no. I don't think that you were trying to be like evil about it, but I'm just saying be careful, because y'all have a tendency to always group black people into every single thing, and it's just not always the time to speak on it.
I have noticed that feminists, and myself included in this, tend to get uncomfortable with conversations about race. We don't know how to talk about race very well. And even just this whole debacle that just happened was just kind of like affirming of that, of like, we need to get better at it, because...
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, just don't bring it up.
Hi, loves.
Well,
It's
no,
me again.
That's not... I don't like that person, bro. I really don't like that person.
Dr. Michelle Daff. We've really been enjoying producing these meaningful conversations for the Dr. Daff Show. However, they are very costly to produce with our large team, equipment, studio, and cast, and everything that goes on behind the scenes. If you've been enjoying these thought-provoking conversations and want to support what we're building here, I would love for you to check out my fragrance brand, Fine Forever. Fine Forever is more than just a fragrance brand. It is a celebration of faith, purpose, and
Nice
beauty.
ball.
We currently have 3 signature scents, each inspired by a unique Bible scripture and has within its own story and meaning. First, we have 2911, inspired by the scripture Jeremiah 29:11. It's a delicate yet vibrant fragrance that combines lush...
God bless capitalism and all the glory it's produced. They're making fragrances inspired by Bible verses. If that's not the beauty of what currency can give you, I don't know what is.
florals with soft, sweet undertones. It is a celebration of gratitude and the blessings that unfold when we walk in faith. Next is Silent Storm, inspired by Psalm 107, 28, and 29.
Oh, they're still going? Okay, I thought it was just going to be one.
That balances strength and serenity. With warm woods and a touch of spice, it's a reminder to find peace and purpose even in life's storms. And lastly, we have mustard seed, inspired by Matthew 17:20. It is a fresh and uplifting fragrance inspired by faith and growth. It opens with a bright citrus and soft florals, symbolizing the beauty of small beginnings and the incredible potential within. Every purchase directly supports this show and helps
What does
us
the
to
gay
keep bringing
stoning
you
verse smell like? Oh no, Amp. Oh no.
meaningful content. So if you're looking for a signature scent that not only smells amazing, but also carries a message of faith and empowerment, then visit findforever.com and shop now. Your support means the world to me, and I truly believe that these fragrances will bless you as much as they have blessed me. The next prompt is, no career will give women as much joy and fulfillment as raising children. Okay. Okay. Oh, maybe someone who hasn't spoken. Go ahead.
I'm a Christian, so I, as much as...
hold on.
Oh, maybe someone who hasn't spoken.
Oh no, okay, it was all greens.
Okay. Okay. Oh, maybe someone who hasn't spoken. Go ahead.
I'm a Christian, so I, as much as know all your statistics and everything about things, it's more that it conflicts with my Christian belief so much, right? So I believe that we're here to reproduce. That's one of the things in the Bible. The first thing about men and women is that they were brought together and then it was to be fruitful and multiply. So I think one of the most valuable things we can do as women in society is to continue reproducing and grow up, raise the next generation. So that's really important. And then I'm kind of seeing how this generation is being raised in a lot of single mother households and stuff. And so I really want to prioritize bringing back the nuclear family, men in the homes and us in traditional roles. And that's my belief.
So I said yes, but it's with a huge caveat, which is that both.
I don't. Sometimes it feels weird to agree with erudite, but I feel like, so obviously I'm just chatting pure fucking wham here, right? Because I ain't got kids. So I could be just chatting pure shit, obviously. I feel like I would answer yes to that question, but the caveat there being that I can't help but think that, like, ultimately at the end of the day, it's going to be the most fulfilling for people in general. Not men, not women, like humanity. But it's not fulfilling in the... It's more complicated because it will be rooted to a lot of, like, priorities you have. Like, if you're the type of person to want kids, I feel like having kids is going to be, like, the thing for you. You know what I mean? There's not going to be anything that compares. If you can't have kids, for example, just hypothetically, not necessary for the hypothetical, but just to jump into the opposite extreme for a sec, if you can't have kids, with how quickly we adapt as humans in general, you will probably find something else that is just as fulfilling, right? Because you will just re-rationalize it for yourself in a way that makes it work. Does that make sense?
Genders report greater life satisfaction when they have children. Like, children's good for everyone. And this idea that we're lumping it to women is part of my problem with this, right? So do women experience, like, greater life satisfaction? Yes, so do men. Except who do we expect to be home? Women. We're like penalizing men and women. For example, if a woman wants to have a career, it feels like your side is saying, well, that wouldn't be good. Okay, well, she's also going to get life satisfaction from her career. In fact, there's a lot of acute happiness that often comes attached to a career. And the issue is that, like, men and women should have the agency to choose both of these things because they should both have access to it, right? There isn't a reason why we should tell men, women have to stay home, you must stay at work, you won't get a relationship with your children. You get a relationship with your kids for 6 hours a day. I don't think that that's better, right? Speaking of the capitalism, I think if you look at models that have, like, 32-hour work weeks, you have greater happiness amongst men, women, children.
Yeah, true. Abso-fucking-lutely you would. Dude, those of you who, like, who work or have worked, think of, just think for a sec, how much more you could do, or how much longer for you could do nothing if you had a 4-day week instead of a 5-day week. Just this, because you are a fucking workhorse, right? You work to a point where I'm pretty sure it's quite bad for you. Think of what you could do if you had an extra day's worth every single week to spend on whatever the fuck you want. I would take that deal. Damn good deal.
Because both parents are home with their children. And frankly, if a woman wants to not have a child, that's fine. That's her prerogative to do, right? You can still have great life satisfaction and happiness from not having a child.
I feel you this, but I'm talking full rates.
The nuclear family unit,
Although
I love the
I would
idea.
do
Honestly,
4
my
times
dad
for
was a
sure.
stay-at-home dad for a while. Then my mom was. They like switched on and off a little bit, which I loved having my dad at home. I thought it was dope. And I think it would be awesome if we could have a parent in the household. But the reality is feminism didn't stop that. It was capitalism. 1950s nuclear family unit existed because we were taxing the rich at 90%. We don't tax them anymore. Amazon and Tesla, they paid $0 in taxes. So I wish you could all be your trad wives that you want to be. I just don't know if your man will be able to afford the house to put you in the kitchen. You know what I'm
True.
saying? Like, we have to really focus on the capitalism part of it, because if you want to be able to have a woman at home with your kids, you have to be able to afford to do that. And a lot of people right now can't afford to, even if they want
Jesus,
to.
this lady's
So
killing
before
it.
attacking feminism, we should be eating the rich. We should be attacking billionaires and taking back the tax money so that you can have your nuclear family unit.
I wanted to speak on this one. Could you repeat the prompt for me, please?
Sure. No career would give women as much joy and fulfillment as raising children.
Okay. So I'm probably the oldest one here. Just turned 50 last month. So as a golden girl who has raised boys, I'm a boy mom who was a professional woman, and that cost me my marriage, thinking that the career was more important than the family. And so my position is from learning from the mistakes that I made to help younger women make decisions that they will be happy with when they're my age. And you brought up the word acute. There's nothing wrong with working. And I do want to say, we are not expecting the man exclusively works and the woman is exclusively home. Both of my parents worked and took time. You know, you work it out for your family with your husband. That's all that matters.
She
It doesn't.
brought up the nuclear family unit.
Nuclear family means mom, dad, sister, brother, or whatever it is. It doesn't mean only dad works and only mom is in the kitchen. Generations ago, mom may have side businesses, do other things, sew, bake, whatever it is. You do what's best for the family. All I'm saying, as a woman with lived experience, who has been an executive, who has had the big bonuses and all of that,
Tell this to the confucker and make them realize nationalism and capitalism can't go together. I think they know, Boris. I think they genuinely know. I think they're explicitly aware of it. It's just they want to lie to you to make money off of it. Because I don't think they haven't thought about it. I think they just take joy in your suffering.
promise you, having a son that is a Marine, working with my ex-husband to raise 2 boys that we are very proud of, one that's going to the Air Force, nothing will give you that fulfillment than being a mother. I'm telling you now, the acute accomplishments are great, but legacy trumps everything.
Well, this is the important thing of like fourth wave feminism, especially, is we want women to have agency to choose.
Absolutely.
And if you want to choose raising your kids, that's awesome.
Yes.
And if you want to choose a career, that's fine.
Yes.
I want even women to choose choices that might be worse in the long run, because agency and choice is so. You want to talk about biblical? God gave us the ability to choose.
Right.
If you think that this is feminism is maximizing the capacity for women to choose, including what you might view as wrong, right? Because the problem is that if you limit women's ability to choose, all you do is you just make good behavior the necessity of survival. That's not
more the
noble.
voters. Dude, if you want to understand that voters of the Confederation are fucking retarded, one of the on-the-record policies of the Confederation here in Poland is to get rid of unemployment benefit. So you get no money if you're unemployed at all. 30% of unemployed people voted for the Confederation. Like, it's not about them voting against their best interest. I just think that those might be actual NPCs. Like, they might genuinely not be real actual human beings. Fucking dead on, bro. I don't know what else can explain this. Hey, Kathy, how you doing?
That's not anything that we strive for. Choice is fundamental to feminism because it means you get to choose good or bad. But if you're good because you just have to be, that isn't meaningful. So we want you guys to have kids. We want us to have kids. We just want women to be able to choose. And there's increasingly pressure to pressure women. We want to talk about the weight.
There's also a big fucking side bonus to all of this, which is that in a society where you get to choose and your ability to choose isn't being vilified, you can also... people, for example, who can't have kids aren't being looked at by the society as though there's some kind of fucking freaks and there's something wrong with them, because it's seen as an actual thing that you get to choose if you so desire. It's not it's just like an added side bonus. There are no cons here. It's just good to have choice.
An earnings gap.
Hey,
the
Globalize, how you
earning gap
doing?
exists for two reasons. One of the biggest reasons is because women will choose professions and have plateau careers.
Fire those
during
opinions away,
motherhood.
Lua.
That's the main reason that women
Fire
work less.
'em.
The second reason is because they tend to work less hours. Again, because typically they choose to stay home with children. And I'm not saying career is all of this stuff, but if you want to get comprehensive here and you want to talk about happiness and meaning and choice, what we're also doing to women, which is saying, you get to choose a career, but you're kind of a bad woman if you choose career over your children. We're not doing that to men. Men are choosing their careers over their children every day because we've told men that their value is tied to the GDP output that they provide.
I will Amp, at some point you have to call a spade a spade. I get what you're saying, buddy, and love you for it, okay? But sometimes you gotta call a spade a spade, okay? This isn't about making perfect choices. This would be like you going to the voting booth and voting for the person who believes that, like, gays shouldn't be around. That's just a peculiar thing to do, right? There's not being able to make perfect decisions, and then there's voting for a guy who doesn't like you.
Provide for their family. I think that's just as anti-biblical. When I talk about biblical, it's not the nuclear family that's biblical, it's intergenerational families and villages. And what we're telling men is, leave your kids, have nothing else, work every day of your life so that when you're 50 and retired, your kids don't know you and they resent you. That's what we're telling people to do right now. As a feminist, I'm saying, no, both should choose. Everyone should choose, including men and including women.
I would argue that men get satisfaction from providing. I think that is their ultimate instinct. And I'm not saying working
it's not
themselves to
feminism
death.
that
I mean,
took that away,
unfortunately,
though.
I think the 40-hour work week is stupid. I think entrepreneurship is great for men because they can just...
How can you think those things are stupid and then be anti-feminist, though? Come on. At some point, you gotta make the connection, innit?
decide kind of what to do with their time. But I think innately, and my husband can attest to
Is
this,
that right?
men want to provide for their family, and women tend to like to nurture their family. They tend to like to be with the kids more. So that's why they're choosing more part-time jobs. They're choosing maybe running a business. They're choosing paying hobbies. That is why that they do that. And I would also argue that women are not being pressured to stay home. I think women are being pressured right now in society to choose career over family and over marriage.
Well, this is completely unrelated since we're not going to be ping-ponging back and forth now. For an example, so just so you guys know, I was raised in a very traditional Christian religion. I was raised Mormon, and from the age of birth until 18 years old, I was told that the thing that was going to make me the very happiest was having a family. That is something that is told to you in these kind of patriarchal religions, is that the thing that is going to fulfill you is having a family, the thing that is going to fulfill you is taking care of a man's needs, the thing that is going to fulfill you is having a husband. And the reality is, every person on the planet has some general idea about what's going to make them happy. And I refuse to believe that having children is going to be the ultimate goal for every woman on this planet or every man on this planet. And I think that the idea of putting people into small boxes and saying, women are women, therefore the thing that's going to make you happiest is popping a baby out of your baby hole, I think is dangerous. Because I was raised in a culture that told me that what was going to make me happiest was having a baby and popping it out of my baby hole. This last summer, I went to a Mormon event, which is kind of unusual for me because I've been out of the church for a really long time now. And I was having a conversation with a woman who she'd gotten married when she was 20, had done everything traditional. She was a trad wife, you know, had her kids, her husband worked, she stayed at home. We're having a conversation, and our kids are jumping on the tram together, and she looks over at me and she's like, "Don't you just hate our children?" And I was like, "Excuse me, what?" She's like, "Oh yeah, my sister and I talk about all the time how awful being a mom is. Don't you just hate it?" I don't hate being a mom. You know why I don't hate being a mom? Because I chose to be a mother. Because the first time I had children, I was 30 years old. The first time I had a child, and I'm proud to be a mom. I'm proud of everyone who chooses to be a mom. I don't want everyone to choose that, but this woman who I was talking to had a hatred of motherhood. And her hatred of motherhood came from a place.
Yeah, because it wasn't a choice. It was a thing that was put on her. You know what I mean?
Place where she wasn't given another choice. The reason why she resented what her life had become was because she had been told from birth that the only thing she was to become was to be a mother. Not me. I was whatever I wanted to be, and I chose to be a mom because that was a joy that I chose for myself. But I want you to know that I find children to be joyful, but not everyone does. And teaching every woman or every man that what's going to fulfill them in their life is children, I actually think is harmful. Because what happens when it turns out you have a kid and that doesn't fulfill you? Well, then you're a mom hanging out with me, watching our kids jump on a trampoline, thinking to yourself, I really hate being a mother. And I would like to avoid that because I think that there is joy in children. I think there is joy in that. But it's not for everyone, and I don't want to teach every woman or every man that that's how we should be.
The same could be said about feminism, right? So like kind of what she was saying, I almost lost my marriage from prioritizing a career. And I had gained very masculine traits. Like I wasn't serving my family. I wasn't paying attention to my family's needs. I wasn't prioritizing having a child. I'm going now into my 30s and finally at a position where I'm like, I'm all in to serve my home the past year. So I wasted all this time chasing after career and once again almost ended up a divorced woman.
But that has nothing to do with feminism, right? Because feminism allowed her the opportunity to have a career and the opportunity to have a child, and she chose what was best for her, and she may feel that that's what ended her marriage, but I don't believe that that's what ended her marriage because her husband was involved in that too. There were two people in your marriage. You know, he could have probably been involved. If he felt that that was a problem, then maybe that's a conversation that could have been worked out. But I don't believe feminism is why your marriage ended. I don't believe that for 1 second. You're allowed to have kids in feminism. You're allowed to raise a family in feminism. You're allowed to. Of course you are. But I have kids.
It's like it's about children, it's about serving others. It's about serving your home. Feminism is very it's me. It's about prioritizing my needs.
That is an excusable view to have of feminism if like this is the first time you're reading about it in a textbook. Not when you're a grown-ass fucking adult with 30 years of life experience on a show to talk about feminism. This is like, if you were to do any research and preparation for your appearance on this show, that belief would have been debunked by the second link of the fucking Google. Come on. At some point, we gotta grow up a little bit, you know? Hey, Testy, how you doing, gay boy?
My happiness, right? It's about going and getting things done that will fulfill me, like a job and a career.
I was just wondering, like you're saying feminism pushed me to get a job, right? Like, or do you think it might be more the system that we have? Yes. We need money to survive. Right. I think that pushed you more to getting a job than having equal rights.
Did you need to get the job?
No, I don't need to go. I don't want to interrogate your guys' lives. Like, you guys get to make the choices that you guys want to make. The problem is when you take your story and you tell other people that that has to be their story, right? So when you say, I regret it because that's fine. That's fine that that's your story. What do you guys think is the one regret of men who are dying in hospice?
Not spending enough time with their children.
Why don't they?
Because they sacrifice.
Because they're expected to provide.
So if both are staying home, though, who's going to provide?
But the issue is that both can provide. That's what almost all families are doing.
So if both of them are gone, then daycare is raising the children.
Well, that's an unfortunate issue that we could go back to capitalism. We can talk about issues as far as like providing UBI or providing free healthcare or allowing villages to raise children. I'm with you on these things. But the idea is what you're trying to do is saying men must provide, and you are dooming men and women to the same lives that they have reported saying, I'm miserable. So many women, for example, do you guys know about the gray divorce rates? So divorce rates amongst boomer parents.
I like not so wear that's Victorian garb. I don't like the corset, I'll be honest. I like the dress, I don't like the corset. I don't think, I'm not feeling it. But it's ultimately unimportant.
Parents is exploding. There's all those women and men stayed in a marriage because they had to raise their kids. And what you see is high levels of regret, particularly from the women. What I want is a world where people get to understand that they can just sort the relationship any way they want. If the man thinks it's better for him to be out 60% of the time and she's home for the rest of the time, that's fine if they want to make...
I don't like the idea of allowing villages to raise people. What do you not like about it, Globalize?
that choice. The problem is you're prescribing it to men, and I'm not going to do that. You're prescribing it to women. I'm not going to do that.
The USSR had a lot of unsuccessful experiments with that. I think you might be reading into what she's saying a little bit. The idea of villages raising children is just about communal responsibility around the area where you live, where it's not just the parents that are expected to like impart knowledge on the children or care about the children's safety or care for the children in the broader sense, but rather it's the people. Just think of living in anywhere that's not like a massive fucking city, right? And like a more of a small area, right? It's just the simple idea that it's not just the parents, it's everyone around that cares for the children, because children are the future of our society and it's in everyone's best interest to take care of the kids. It's also the idea that this takes some burden off of the parents themselves, because there are going to be other people around who can be trusted to some extent to not fuck up your kid. Did you see Nintendo suing the Trump admin? Are you serious? Over what?
What did I prescribe?
You're telling them that a man should be a provider and that a woman should be a nurturer.
I know I said that they get innate fulfillment from that.
It's a prescription. It's saying it's fundamental to who you are.
But no, so what is your solution? Because if the man's not providing and the woman's not providing,
that's not what they're saying.
We can talk about economics if you want to.
But we're not going to talk about it right now. And the next prompt is the sexual revolution.
I feel like they shouldn't have let that just... Actually, maybe they should have, because that I don't know if that lady was interested in listening, she wouldn't have re-asked that question. I don't like it when people do this. Whoa, who do you expect to provide? If nobody works, it's just communism. Like, no, that's not what's being said here.
Has devalued women and made them
Oh God, Lua, you just reminded me of something. Unstoppable Force Leonard meets immovable object Ampar. I was on YouTube and I saw there were two people beefing under a comment section of some popular video. It might have been something that you guys linked here in my Discord. And both of those people were making dog shit fucking arguments, right? It was genuinely painful to follow. It was like level 1 debaters on both sides of the aisle. It was genuinely awful. And somebody left a comment underneath, like when their battle ended, saying stoppable force meta movable object, and I was just fucking cackling to myself because it's such a good way to insult two people at the same time. It's just like, it fucking threw me so hard. It's so silly. I want to incorporate that when I see two fucking idiots fighting from now on. Movable force. Sorry, stoppable force versus a movable object.
infinitely less happy. Yes, yes, yes. No, no, maybe. Okay. Whoever feels strongly about it can speak.
I think that this term, calling it a sexual revolution, is quite strange and it distorts history. If you look at the history of like the way that people engaged in sex, it really has not quite changed much. The only thing that we've seen change for the most part is the rise in social media and the rise of seeking out sexual relationships through that. Because you can go back through history and look at like the Greeks and the Romans that were very openly sexual. People were having sex in public. Like, it was not a private thing. It never was. And it really only became like this private thing when you look at like the rise of like industrialism in the United States, and you see sex become like commodified, and it became like a dirty thing, with also the rise of, you know, like religion and Protestantism in the US also kind of demonized it, and it became a weapon used against women. And I think that we've seen the pendulum go from like being hypersexual in the past, where sex wasn't like a commodified thing or it wasn't a demonized thing, to kind of going through this period of like demonizing people for exploring their sexuality or things like that. And now we've kind of come back out the other side, where some people abuse it, some people don't. And I think that you have to have moderation. I've said this before, like, as far as devaluing women, I think that the problem with devaluing women who are open about their sexuality or commodify their own sexuality and take control over it is a problem with patriarchy, and I think it's a problem with misogyny. I don't think it's a feminism problem.
Well, I would say that when you like put yourself out there to be overtly sexual, and you don't give men anything to work
everything's fault.
for,
It's
so you
everything's fault,
lessen your
Laura.
value. So if you want women to be valuable, then having a lot of sex with men,
fault of the things
being
that it is
just out
actually the
there,
fault
not
of.
caring
Magical,
about
that works.
how you present yourself, that is not going to make you happy. You're actually sadder now. You're not happy. And I think that, women tend, like all species, one thing we know is that we're here to be with each other. You can try to look at it like we're not equal. We provide equal value. And men can do things that women simply can't. You have, like, you...
Can I ask what? What can men do that we can't?
I mean, men build everything. We don't. Men protect us. They fight wars. We don't.
What do they protect us from? Other men?
No, women have always fought in wars. Women have built so many things.
Yeah.
So many things.
But in the world, like the
Women
roads,
also weren't allowed
the
to.
buildings, the architecture, men do all of that.
Women
men
were
are
also a part of
geniuses.
it, though.
It's way more male geniuses than are female geniuses.
That doesn't answer the question, though. The question was, what can they do, not what have they done?
Well, she's answering the question a little bit, but you're saying like they're more men geniuses. They stopped us from reading. They stopped us from going to school.
Okay,
the
but
first
is that
black
an
woman
issue right
lawyer
now,
wasn't
so-
allowed to practice law. She got her law degree, but she wasn't allowed to even practice and be a lawyer. They stopped us.
But that's
from this
not what
stuff.
modern feminism is about. That we have surpassed that already. You guys can read, you guys can vote, you can do everything you want to do, and you keep making issues. This is why you always talking about the patriarchy and capitalism. You feed it. Okay? Why do you think that you are a feminist?
Like Laura said, Goro, every Wednesday and Friday, unless something's happening in my life that makes it so that I can't stream on that particular day. But yeah, it's Wednesdays and Fridays.
In the first place, they wanted you to work. That's what they wanted you to do. They wanted 2 people in a household to work versus 1, right? But you hate
Who's they?
you hate capitalism.
Who's they, though?
But you serve it. You would rather serve capitalism than serve your man, the man that was put here to
I'm a
protect
lesbian.
you.
Yeah, but does
whether
your
it's
man
from-
make enough money so that you don't have to work? This is my thing. These are, if we're talking about family units, these are 2 people. They get to decide what happens in their unit. And reality is some men are not going to be able to provide all that they can. Talk about pressure. I feel like feminism was good for men because it kind of relieved them of a little bit of pressure.
Lifted everybody up.
Well,
It
yeah, but
really
it's
did.
made men so much more depressed than ever. It's made them weaker.
I think they just don't like the fact that now they see, oh, women can be as good as us.
It's not even, it's a little bit more complicated than that, right? I feel like, I can't remember who it was that I was listening to when I was younger, but that seemed to have resonated with me the most. The idea of it was really that we have, women have gone through this thing where women are still raised by and large to be like the caretakers and carekeepers, and dudes are not. Except that now the things that dudes are raised to do, like provide, like aren't possible to do on your own. So women are in the workforce as well, and women are pretty good at being in a workforce actually. So now women are doing the thing that men were told is like their function, and they fucking excel at it, whilst men are by and large still incredibly fucking incompetent when it comes to fulfilling the quote-unquote woman's function. So a lot of dudes feel that type of fucking depression because they don't know how to handle the fact that they don't have a place for themselves because what they thought would have been their place is being like quote-unquote taken over by women. And then instead of blaming the dudes for making that be the case, they blame the women.
Because now that we're allowed to have all these rights, we're graduating from college more than they are now.
Why do you have to be?
Because we live in their world. And I'm saying because we live in this world with them where they are suppressing us, their bar is up here. If our bar gets lifted, so does theirs. Our bar gets lifted, so does theirs.
Why do women need to be less than men?
Yeah.
Women are not less than men. They're different from men. We provide equal value, but we're different. You can't, it's no way that if you got a man that's your age, your height, whatever, he's going and you race him. You're not going to beat him. More times than not, they're going to dust you, which lets you know that you are...
Our players in war? I don't want to go to war. I'm good, bro. I like my I like my computer. I like the friends that I've got on my computer. I like being at home. I like just yapping about politics. I don't want to go to war. I barely want to go to the gym.
Are not equal to them.
In what sport?
Not in that way.
I was going to say Puta, just that doctor, but I didn't know if that meme's going to translate
You're more
well.
emotional. It's just.
To speak to the emotions, if I could maybe chime in here, right? The idea that like men are less emotional than women. It's like, well, what's the number one cause of crime? Do you guys know like the actual preceding
Emotions.
factors?
Poverty.
It's actually impulsivity, right? ADHD is one of the largest things that is in prison, right? ADHD, impulsivity, right? And drinking, right? Men are highly addictive. They're suiciding at a higher rate than women are. The idea that men aren't emotional is again the type of prescriptive perpetuation that is bad for men.
Anger's an emotion.
That's bad for men and it's bad for women. Men are emotional. Right?
I'm
Women are
drinking right
emotional
now. We
in
should
different
stop,
ways.
baby.
You're right.
Alcohol's
You talk
bad
to,
for you,
example,
man.
a trans woman who's gone on estrogen. For example, a lot of negative emotions begin to emerge, more specifically like sadness. The issue is that we all act like logic, devoid of emotion, is wisdom. But that there's not even a historical precedent for this. If you look back to like some of the original writers of wisdom, you talk about the Spartans or the Athenians, they loved their feelings. The Spartan men were so passionate about one another and the things that they fought for that they openly sobbed. That's what original Stoicism is. It's an acknowledgement of the feelings and a drive for action and through it. You take away a rat's ability to feel emotion, it starves to death in like a week because emotion drives all of us. Men aren't more or less emotional. We're all emotional. The issue is that, yeah, they have testosterone. They're always going to lift things heavier than I am. That's why they're disproportionately represented in labor fields. But the issue is that A, technology has balanced those things, and B, the idea that men are just better, men just, by and large, because of X and Y, have a little bit more dimorphism at the ends. They might like perform really high here. They're also disproportionately represented in some of the most disabled individuals, some of the most addicted individuals, some of the most homeless individuals, right? And so this idea that we're like putting like women below men because like we tend to be kind of, I would argue, more balanced creatures, I think is disserving both of us.
I don't think that's
But we're
what
not
she said.
putting it.
That's
We're
not
not
what she
putting
said.
women under men.
Yeah. We always, like, I was talking about this earlier, where we're always constantly, like, obsessing over this hierarchy on, I hear it from feminists a lot, where it's like, oh, well, men aren't better, like, you know, women are under, like, the book, The Second Sex. Like, this hasn't come from women who were happy being mothers and anti-feminists, anti-suffragettes. They're not saying that. It's always the feminists that are saying this. So I'm just like...
I feel like this lady just like fundamentally does not understand the idea of choice. I don't know what else it could be at this point. I don't know what else it... How many times was she told? How many times was she told that the idea here is that you've got... We're going to simplify this like a motherfucker. You've got two groups of people amongst women. You've got the women who want to be caretakers and want to take care of the home, and you've got women who don't want to take care of the home. One of those groups is happy in an environment where women have to take care of the home. The other group is not. The other group wants you to be able to choose between taking care of the home or not taking care of the home. And when you've made that choice, you can do you. And that's just... Is she stupid? How many times? Every time she speaks, she deploys 2 to 3 Petersianisms per paragraph. It's so funny.
Why are y'all so obsessed with trying to be men? Like, why can't you just be good women and enjoy the roles that we're supposed to play, which is mother?
I've been very unenthusiastic about Erudite over time, as you all know, but this is a damn good convo showing. Erudite usually performs in these kinds of environments really, really well. Erudite then just sabotages herself by attaching herself to people like Destiny and then sticking through after Destiny's essentially outing himself as a sex offender. It's she does really good on these kinds of like back and forths. That's like a thing that she's really skilled at. It's just she then self-sabotages.
A mother, because a man can't fill the mother role. That's why. So I just don't understand what the problem is and why you guys are trying to be men.
Wait, is that the only role?
We're not trying to be men.
Wait, no, is that the only role we play though, as mom? That's it?
No, I just threw a role, like, you know what I mean? I just threw a role out there that man cannot fill.
I think I'm the most masculine one here. I'm not trying to be a man. I'm just more questioning like what is being a woman? Like what is that gonna look like for me? And it's not that I think that I'm better than men, it's just Like even just saying like men are more logical. It's like I think men have been taught that their emotions are logic. Then it's not that they're more logical. They're not better decision makers.
Genuinely,
they're not the ones
at this
households.
point, like as of today, Doctor, I don't know. The last time I've heard anything about it, it was a resounding yes.
Women that are running the households, you know?
I would
Yeah, that's why households are falling apart.
You see households that are led by women and versus single households that are led by men. Men do a better job raising children by themselves.
You don't get to
Single
compare.
households led by women are creating YNs that are in the Black community. Women do that, okay? Men provide structure. They provide discipline. And that's within the woman too.
So men sound like great mothers.
Is anyone on this side passionate about this particular prompt and would like to speak on it?
I did. I wanted to say something with respect to the lesbian because I can't identify. But I think the flaw with feminism is the expectation that we are supposed to be the same at all. I think we understand and we appreciate we are not better or worse. We are not equal. We are equal valued, but we're very different. And I think there's a natural biology that often gets overlooked, especially if you've raised boys, you will see from the womb, they are just different. And I think when we try to put them together and say, anything you can do, I can do better, we're setting ourselves up for failure.
Again, that's such a narrow view of feminism, though. It's just such a, like, it's almost such a boring fucking way to look at it.
And you made a comment earlier about women are better in every way than men. And the question that I would have is,
I didn't say that.
I'm sorry, you said something about...
I didn't say anything close to that. I agree with you that I think the sexist, I honestly, the men versus women sex thing, I think it's silly. I think these traits, human traits are human traits. Some were nurtured more in this person, some were nurtured. Like my dad being a stay-at-home dad, he was much better mother than my mother was. I am so sorry, Mom, if you see this. But he just was. He was a better mom than she was. And sometimes that's the case. Forget the gender role stuff and like these are all human traits. You either are a gentle, nurturing, organized person who wants to take care of a kid or you're not. And that doesn't go man, woman, that goes person.
And I will say, not every woman is a mother. Not every woman should be a mother.
And not everyone, right.
But I would just say this, find me
Yeah, that's feminism though, innit? That's the choice bit.
the society
Hey,
of
Ruby, how we
women
doing, love?
that are doing it by themselves.
I would love.
Ruby, are you a feminist? Or are you not a feminist? Tell us right now.
Bad, exactly, it doesn't exist.
Why though?
Because we are not able to sustain it. We live in a safe, civil society because the men have made an agreement amongst themselves to not blow it all up.
Again, look, I am a man and I do not want to blow the society up. And if you want to credit me for that, I will gladly take the credit. For I am a self-serving bitch at the end of the day. However, at the same time, I can't help but notice that it is the other men, right, that do want to blow it up. Probably going to be a woman or two in there, sure, right? But it seems to skew rather heavily in a direction that if you then wanted to apply to me on the basis of the fact that I've got a cock between my legs, probably wouldn't quite like that now, would I? So, bit of a fiddy-fiddy on that one, you know? It's just not ideal. Just isn't. Choose carefully, Ruby. Never. Yeah, Ruby's the anti-feminist in the house. It's not even... For Ruby, it's not even that she's anti-feminist. Ruby just hates women. Very fucking unfortunate. I don't know why she's like this. It's just like one of those things where Cheeto calls me slurs randomly for no reason, and I've never, like, I don't know why he does it. He just does. It is what it is, you know. You gotta live with it. Next leader of North Korea will be a woman, which I think is an important advancement for women dictators. Dude, I've watched a fucking brain rot TikTok edit of Kim Jong-un and his daughter just having the time of their life. And if this wasn't a fucking dictator who wants to nuke half the world, grooming his insane fucking offspring, I would probably quite like those. Okay, chat. Can you tell me what the fuck this is about? Marine gets arm broken amidst Iran war protest as police Senator Tim Sheehy eject him from the hearing.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
Fucking base. Is he? Holy shit, that is a big fucking... That is big energy to bring into somebody saying... Bro, I feel like I'm a hound for anti-Semitism. That's a lot of fucking energy to start dragging the dude out. Yeah, that was quick.
America does not want to send its sons and daughters to war for Israel. Your inability to name that shows your exemptness as leaders.
Jesus. Fucking
this is wrong.
Giga Chad. Two guys are trying to hold him off, and he can't push against them, but he keeps fucking at it.
And nobody wants to fight for Israel.
A reminder to all our
Commandant, please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America. Out. No one wants to fight for Israel.
Ooh, fuck.
Oh my God.
Sir, thank you for your service.
Senator broke his hand.
That fucking cunt is grabbing. Hold on, that what a subhuman fucking piece of shit. He's look at the whatever the fuck this security officer here is. They're saying they broke his arm just now. That security guard comes back and instead of trying to get his arm out from under there, he starts pushing him out by his head. Look at him. Look at this. Look at this subhuman fucking cunt. Squeezes through. Starts pushing him by the head.
The senator broke his hand.
Help him, please. Help him.
Senator.
He's a Marine. Somebody come help him.
Control your Senate committee.
Look at you guys. You're robots. You won't even look back. Look at you guys.
Subhuman.
You're like robots.
Look at them. Fucking cunts, the lot of them.
And you're not even looking back. Any of you 4-star generals. Oh my God, what is happening right now? Eyes front, robots. Shame. Shame.
She should... Obviously, I say she should. I have no fucking idea what kind of consequences she'd be looking at if she did that. And looking at how unhinged this administration is, it'd probably be quite bad. I wish I could see their faces, though. I want to know... I want these people to be immortalized in this video as those who did nothing.
Oh my God, you guys.
Everybody sit down,
What did
please.
I just see? I'm getting out of here.
That's fine. Everybody sit down, please.
Oh my God, what is
That's all.
happening?
Okay, good. No, it's not.
Oh my God.
Stuck.
It's disgusting.
Oh my God, you guys.
Sir, does that hurt? Can you open it up a little bit just to like change the gap? Hey guys, clear the hallways.
Jesus, his hand is still stuck. This dude.
Yeah.
This
Hey, guys.
one, I fucking hate
Clear
him
the
so
hallway.
much. It turns around, says out. He the exact same energy that you've got of the dude who like jumps in school when the other ones are already doing the bullying. To like, I don't know who this is. I dislike him very deeply. Very deeply.
Out. Clear the hallways. Clear the hallways, please. Clear the hallways, please.
Can you help him, please?
Yes, yes. Private places going there. Please through the hallways.
Oh my God, what happened? His hand got totally smashed. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Why are you here?
Why are you getting arrested?
Free Palestine, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. Palestine will be free.
And what about this war in Iran?
Oh my God.
He keeps at it.
Let's work on
His arm.
Okay. Ah, fuck, my arm is fucking broke, bro.
What more are you gonna do to him?
My left arm is broke. I understand. Don't fight.
Oh
okay?
my God. Oh, you guys, come on.
I need you to move
You
with
need
me,
to
okay?
stop.
Okay.
Brian, stop.
He's fighting for you, not for him.
My left arm is broke.
They broke his arm.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. It's totally broken.
Come on now.
Oh man.
Please, can you get him some kind of medical attention?
Yes, we are.
Oh my God.
You are? It's great.
Just let go of my arm before you sit down.
Y'all step back, please. Please move
Can you
back.
get
Keep
him
this
some
walkway
medical
open.
attention?
Who needs her?
No, he broke his arm.
Okay. Would y'all just move aside then? That way people can still exit.
Josie, what happened?
We just witnessed a Marine veteran interrupting the hearing, and they broke his arm.
Why did he interrupt the hearing?
Because there is a war in Iran, and our military brothers and sisters are going to die for Israel, and we are here to say no. We do not support Israel. We do not want to die for Israel. Stop the war in Iran right now.
And what did they do to him?
They pulled him out, got his arm trapped in a door, broke his arm, tackled him to the ground. It was a very, very intense situation.
All right. So I'm gonna grab your arm and you can relax. Okay? Try to stay lives.
What? Did you come here to protest? I'm for the hearing, but he's my friend.
No idea why it is not allowed to speak out like that. I mean, I'm guessing he's not allowed because it's a formal hearing, and I'm guessing the people listening are supposed to just sit there and listen. But like that notwithstanding, it's not about the fact that he spoke out, it's about what he said, right? Look at how fucking... I don't know what happened a few minutes before this. Maybe there's like context that we're missing, but he started talking specifically about Israel fucking... He said that Israel started this, and it's like somebody got fucking like berserk rage just immediately came upon the security officers there. Jesus, fuck, man.
And he couldn't stand what they were saying anymore, so he spoke up.
Is he with an organization?
No, he's actually running for Senate in North Carolina. His name is Brian McGinnis.
Do you work for him?
No, I don't. And they all just kept their eyes forward, those cowards.
Please go behind the line right now. So we have these fire.
Was that him again, or was that someone else?
We have these fire.
Free Palestine. Fuck the war in Iran.
You're free to record, but you're free to record.
Yeah, no, I will. As soon as we're done with this, because I just want to see if there's anything else here. As soon as we're done with this, we're going to read the article. What an absolute! It's because he's bold. I'm telling you, we're a different fucking breed. Okay, I'm gonna stolen valor here, but I'm just. It's just that's what boldness gets you. Look at him, fucking perfectly round head.
You guys are free to record. All you want is asking you to please cooperate.
Bro shaved his head, shaved his beard, put on his fucking uniform, went in, said Palestine will be free, blamed Israel for the war in Iran. Absolute fucking the scale of Giga Chad present here is genuinely difficult to put into words. Hey, spaceman. A veteran essentially interrupted a Senate hearing, and the fucking security guards there just decided to... We're going to read an article about this in a sec, and we're going to go through the whole thing again. Just
with us, just go
hang on
behind the
there.
line.
America does not want to fight this war in Iran, and the soldiers don't, right?
Please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America. No
Yeah, his hand got stuck here, and they just kept fucking...
one.
I don't even... I can understand that, like, he might not have known that it's stuck, but do they not fucking communicate? Like, how... At some point, you gotta figure out that just pulling harder isn't the answer here.
What's the fight for Israel?
Fucking hell.
Brian, why are you here? Why are you getting arrested?
Free Palestine, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli.
The shit that they didn't, I genuinely, I cannot describe to you how fucking subhuman this is. This part bothers the fuck out of me. It's this bit here where
Oh my God.
this police, whatever the fuck he is, he comes back. At this point, like, he comes back to try and push him from the other side. He just broke his arm and he starts pushing him by his head. Look at him.
Sir, thank you for your service.
Pushes through and look at him. Fucking starts pushing him by the head. Hey, Unix, how you doing, love? Hi, hi.
The senator broke his hand.
Please help him.
Senator
He's a Marine. Somebody come help him.
Control your Senate committee.
Look at you guys. You're robots. You won't even look back. Look at you guys. You're like robots. Oh my God. What is happening?
Vile, subhuman, fucking ghouls, the lot of them. Moment Marine, so this is from The Independent. Moment Marine veteran protesting Iran war suffers broken arm during struggle with GOP senator. Senator Tim Sheehy, I think that's how you pronounce his name, I'm not entirely sure, somebody can correct me. Tim Sheehy insists... Tim Sheehy insists activist Brian McGuinness was looking for a confrontation when he disrupted a Senate Armed Service Committee hearing to protest US military actions against Iran. Montana Republican Senator Tim Sheehy has defended himself after an anti-war protester he was helping remove from a Capitol Hill hearing was injured. The incident unfolded when Sheehy came to aid of Capitol Police as they struggled to remove the activist from a committee hearing on Wednesday. Brian McGuinness, a Marine Corps veteran in dress uniform, disrupted a gathering of the Senate Armed Services Committee to denounce the joint US-Israeli airstrikes on Iran. He clashed with 3 officers attempting to remove him from the chamber and suffered a broken arm in the process, Reuters reports. No one wants to fight for Israel, McGuinness yelled as the officers shoved him through the door, at which point the protester's arm became wedged in the doorframe. Also, can we just say, fucking abhorrent design for these doors, that this is even a thing that, like, can so... Like, you know what I mean? Who the fuck designed this? Are you stupid? Again, Giga Chad. This dude, I mean. When she joined the scrum, an audible snap could be heard and a member of the public in attendance to witness the hearing repeatedly cried out a sitting US senator just broke the hand of a Marine. As she returned to his seat, the same man called him a coward and a punk, to which the Republican appeared to respond, "Go fuck yourself." I really hope Montana is blue? Purple? Red? What's the verdict on she? I hope this fucking buries him. As she returned to his seat, the same man called him a coward and a punk, to which the Republican appeared to respond by saying, "Go fuck yourself." As he was finally led away from the scene, McGuinness continued to shout, "Free Palestine from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, Palestine will be free," referring to the first line of the Marine Corps' official song. Montana is a red state, sounds like a red name, Red. Is he set to win? There used to be this thing, at least way back when, where if you would do this as a Republican senator to a fucking veteran, that would be the end of your career. Alas, I have a feeling it's not going to be the case here. Fucking Chief Bone Spurts at the spearhead is probably going to keep him quite cushy, actually. The senator, a former Navy SEAL, later responded to a video of the chaotic episode on X and said Capitol Police were attempting to remove an unhinged protester from the American Services hearing. He was fighting back. I decided to help out and de-escalate the situation. Bro, fuck off. De-escalate my balls on your chin, you absolute cunt. This gentleman came to the Capitol looking for a confrontation, and he got one. I hope he gets the help he needs without causing further violence. McGuinness, who along the officers was treated for his injuries, was arrested and faces 3 counts, each of assaulting a police officer. When the fuck did he do that, then? Resisting arrest an unlawful demonstration according to Capitol Police. They blamed McGuinness for the injury he sustained, saying in their statement that he got his own arm stuck in the door to resist our officers and force his way back into the hearing room. Xi's decision to involve himself in the scuffle also attracted strong criticism. However, with the campaign group Veterans for Responsible Leadership respecting the senator's account by saying, let's hope he sues the shit out of you. Sorry, not respecting the senator's account, reacting to the senator's account. Paul Riekhoff, a veterans' rights activist and podcaster, said this is very, very ugly, and no US senator needs to inject himself into this situation for the safety of everyone, including himself. Just unnecessary and terrible to watch. This is what an America falling apart looks like. Hey, this is Xi. Remember this face. This is a subhuman, disgusting cunt. A video posted on X earlier in the day appears to show McGuinness described as a Green Party candidate for the US Senate standing outside the Capitol. He explained that he is here in DC trying to speak out against the Senate and asked them why they're going to send our men and women to harm's way when our elected officials said that there would be no world war. Anyone who feels disillusioned and betrayed by our government, you are not alone, he says. Join us in demanding accountability for this betrayal. Free Palestine, free America. Following Wednesday's incident, McGuinness' family posted a message on the same account expressing thanks for the messages of support they had received, and explaining that the activist would be taking a necessary step back from the public eye to allow him to focus fully on his recovery in private. I don't know if you guys are... So, I follow American politics a decent amount. It's not quite possible to follow all of it. It's an incredibly fucking broad topic. However, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there is an increasing amount of Democrats that are becoming very fucking hostile to Israel. And it's very difficult to look at this situation and blame anyone else for this but Israel. It's fucking wild, this shit that is going on. And there is genuinely, it looks like there might finally be a split on this. It looks like in the near future, it's not going to be the case anymore that no matter who you vote for, you are still voting for Israel. The amount of people who are becoming comfortable with saying that they aren't going to follow those fucking lunatics led by Netanyahu into every single war he dreams of is increasing. Can't be called resisting the arrest if the arrest is unlawful. Laura, I would personally not go there. I'm obviously not a legal expert, but in my very sort of anecdotal experience, if there is a Senate hearing and the Senate police the Capitol Police is there, and you try and interrupt the hearing, you're not going to be able to spin resisting an unlawful arrest. Sorry, you're not going to be able to spin that this was an unlawful arrest. Unlawful, Jesus, I can't fucking speak. What I mean is that there are so many different little avenues in law that if you interrupt something happening in the Senate, they will be able to arrest you, and you will not be able to argue that it is an unlawful arrest, because despite free speech and shit like that, Senate has certain protections in place, especially if it's an active Senate hearing. Jesus, having a moment there, but I think, got to where I was going. Apparently, this guy was also a whistleblower on IDF war crimes he saw in Gaza. Fucking based, if true. She just won in 2024, by the way. He took over for a good Democrat senator from Montana. Not the best choice from Montana, to be honest. Hopefully, that was his only and last victory. Fucking hell, man. What a genuinely grim thing that was then. Short palate cleanser for after. Do you know what, Doctor? Because I value you. I will check this out, but your palate cleansers have been historically dog shit. Gay stories, 282,000 subscribers, stuck in the window, calling for me. Now Asmund reaction. Okay, sorry, we're going to do... Oh yeah, because that's about the same topic. Okay, we're going to do that later. Sorry for spoiling what it is. The roach piece of shit had a take. Let's have a listen.
Ow! No one wants to fight for Israel!
His hand! Oh! His hand!
Nope.
Oh.
Let go of your hand. Let go of the door. Let go of the door. So you
That was hand.
I thought that he's not going to notice the fact that he's being pushed by his head. Didn't think that Asmongold's... I should have thought that Asmongold's going to find that funny. Of course he is. He is a fucking ghoul with no love in his life. Every single day he spends... Every single day for him just gets worse and worse in terms of how disgusting of a freak he turns into. This is what happens. This is genuinely... Look at this and realize that this is what happens when everyone in your life who loves you dies. This is all of us if there is nobody left in your life that loves you. If you've made decisions in your life that make it so that the only people who love you are your parents and your parents pass, this is what you become. You become the type of person who sees a veteran be dragged out and have his arm broken in the process, and even if you think he shouldn't have had the right like the arrest is lawful and he shouldn't have interrupted or whatever the fact that you take joy at him being violated like this, it's just disgusting.
They broke his arm? Deserved.
just broke the hand of a Marine.
Yep.
Sir.
Deserved.
Control your Senate. We're stuck in the door. Okay, sir. A U.S.
That's what you get.
Just broke the hand of a Marine.
These people are absolutely and completely addicted to optics. All they care about is how they're seen. That's it. Shouldn't have put yourself in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, as Asmongold's speaking from his own experience of not putting himself in any situation, the key to never having any of these things happen to you is just not leaving the house. You permanently stay indoors. Now, most of you who do that, right, will not end up being multi-millionaire streamers. You will fucking die in squalor out of hunger. But then again, to be fair, if you take advice on shit like this from Asmongold, maybe that's just a better outcome, you know? Maybe you should listen to him. Maybe that's just the way to go, frankly. But to those of you who do, on occasion, happen to leave the house, probably not a good idea to listen to him on anything he has to say. He has a permanent situationship with his cockroaches. Oh no. True, though. He does. He genuinely does, doesn't he? With that fucking dead rat that he uses as an alarm clock as well. Yeah, it would be really sad that he has no love in his life, if not for the fact that he's such a vile cunt that he doesn't deserve to have any love in his life. What a vile person. Unironically, so vile. It's just a thorough lack of humanity is what that is. It's just sad to see. If this is what having no father figure leads to, I might become red-pilled. No, Amp, that's the thing. Asmongold's dad seemed like a really chill dude. Like a genuinely good bloke. Asmongold had a father figure. Asmongold had a mother figure. I'm sure they had their own struggles, as everyone does, but he had those. He became like this. He had every reason to do better, every way to be better. Oh, what the fuck? Why is New Peppo just spinning away? I can't catch up to him to actually deal any significant damage. Fucking New Peppo. This is genuinely what I imagine Asmongold's audience is like on a day-to-day basis. That's just how they be rolling. Shit. Good night, Lua. Talk to you soon. Jesus, I feel bad for that Marine dude. The worst part about it is that I don't think he's gonna have any grounds to sue. Like, I hope I'm wrong, but it didn't seem like, just to me, anecdotally, it didn't seem like a situation that he's gonna be able to sue in. It seems like the senator's gonna be able to spin this under, like, his perceived responsibilities, and the Capitol Police was already trying to get the dude out of there. So I don't imagine that he's going to be able to... Like, what would he sue for? Obviously, we will live and see, but it's kind of hopeless. Which is why it's so fucking courageous that he did what he did. Because he's 100%, he was aware 100% of the fact that the moment he says anything about not wanting to fight and die for Israel, those people are gonna jump on him like fucking zombies seeing the first piece of fresh meat since the fucking turning point. Best I see is fixing that door or some training update to the cops. I don't think we're gonna see either. Frankly, with this administration, they sort of have free reign on doing shit like this. You're not allowed to be anti-Israel. You're just not. What a sad state of events. Now we genuinely need a palate cleanser. Do you now, Amp? Do you? What is going on? Doctor sent this in as a palate cleanser, so whatever it ends up being, blame him.
Hey, Angel, what do you think you're doing?
Except that, nothing, I'm just getting to have some fresh air.
Looks like you're getting more than that, eh?
Well, I was going to get something, and I got stuck.
Yeah, sneaking out to meet the boyfriend, eh?
Boys, where are they from?
You need some help?
That's a Scandinavian accent if I've ever heard one.
Well, I'd like to help you, but maybe I should send a picture to your mom first.
Isn't that Canadian? No, these are not native English speakers.
I'm not gonna do that again.
Well, Angel, actions have consequences.
Please, just don't tell her. She's gonna kill me.
Well, there's one thing that I've been trying to do with your mom and she won't let me do it. If you help me with it and don't tell her, I'll give you a hand. Is that a deal?
What did she gonna do?
It's just a little physical affection thing she won't share with me, but you love me enough to make a little sacrifice for me, huh, buddy?
Mm-hmm.
Would you send us,
deal or
Doctor?
not? I have all night.
Okay, fine, deal.
And that's and it just ends there, does it? I feel like it's still You're not beating the allegations, Doctor, buddy. You're not beating the allegations. Where's the palate cleanse? That's what he proposed as a palate cleanse. Look, it's Doctor, right? With Doctor, it's always, whenever he links something in chat, it's always a coin flip. But it's not a coin flip between good recommendation and bad recommendation. It's a coin flip between dog shit recommendation and even worse one. I don't think Brother once shared a video in chat that I've watched and I was just like, hell yeah, this brings valuable input into my life. No, it's always shit like this. Dude, I thought we were going to see clapping. What the fuck? I'm glad we didn't, to be fair, okay? That would have been a quick VOD deletion right there. The dog video is good, Icebean can confirm. Beans and dogs and wolves, okay. It's just one of those topics where, I wouldn't trust her. Wouldn't trust her is what I'm saying. I just genuinely would not. All right, chat. Are we ready for a little bit of insanity? Actual insanity this time. Bride of Charlie, Candace Owens documentary on Erica Kirk, reviewing episode 1.
I saw that Candace Owens released a document.
Your girl.
Candace not my girl. The first thing she does is she reads a post from this former actress.
I'm going to be blunt. I have reached the point where I find Erica Kirk to be deeply disturbing. I come from the world of acting and modeling. I have spent years around social climbers, opportunists, image curators, and people who treat relationships like ladders. That is why I left that world. A few are dangerous. Erica falls into the latter category not because she is just ambitious, but because of how calculated and performative her ambition appears to be. I believe she may be a psychopath.
So there's not much reporting there. It's just her sharing a post she liked. Now, even though this didn't have much journalistic value, one thing I do agree with in the post is that even people who like Candace or who like Erica Kirk are uncomfortable with her. I think that part is very true. But then she gets into the fact finding and she goes into Erica Kirk's family history. She goes straight to the family.
That Erica was exceedingly close to her stepfather too. You can bring that back up and I'll show that. But he's featured there too. You've got Larry in the photo because he has been a fixture in her life since before her parents' divorce was ever finalized. Because both he and his son are also in the collage.
So in this section, she goes into poking holes into when Erica was born because of discrepancy in like 1 to 2 days. And then she goes into some of the divorce dates and talking about how weird it is that on some documents it's different than others. And like, I won't lie to you, when she's going through some of this, some of it does look a little bit off, that there's like 4 different divorce dates or like marriage dates in terms of when they got married. But then she goes into the claim that Erica made that she was raised by a single mother. And to counter that, she goes, no, these men were clearly in her life. And at one point, she pulls up the yearbook from Erica Kirk. She shows the pictures of the fathers or the stepfathers in the yearbook, okay?
Confirmed with classmates Larry and Lori were together since Erica's elementary school days. In other words, Erica grew up in a situation that is now termed as a bonus dad. Both her biological father and her stepfather figure were present and all living in and around the Scottsdale area. So why this little public misrepresentation? I would be super offended if I was a stay-at-home dad and then suddenly you've got someone saying, I was all alone. My mom did it all by herself. Now, you will see throughout this investigation that there are a lot of little wrinkles like this in Erica's story. Even if you removed Kent, Erica was raised with her stepfather in her home, a man named Larry Ginta. In her high school yearbook, actually, Kent is included, her father.
I really enjoy, like, every time she said Kent, I heard something else. And she said it with such enthusiasm. I'm like, go girl.
Father,
what a fucking Kent.
In a collage, and so are his parents, her grandparents. So we can reasonably assume that her father was in her life. We can also assume from that photo that Erica was exceedingly close to her stepfather too.
So this is my problem sometimes when I watch Candace. Is Candace will do all the research, she'll do a lot of legwork, and then she'll say a line like, we can reasonably assume. And when I hear reasonably assume, I'm like, based off what? Because he's in the yearbook photo. Why is that a reasonable assumption?
Well, because he's there.
And like,
he's there. He wouldn't be there if he was not in her life.
I think the main issue I have is I think a lot of the legwork that happens with people buying into this is that they already hate Erica Kirk and think she's a fraud. So they'll listen to this and they're already connecting. And Candace doesn't do a great job in some of the situations of connecting the dots. She will just infer very strongly or say stuff like, we can, no. I've taken plenty of pictures with people, family members over the years. They've shown up in family photo albums. I'm not close to them. Why are we assuming that these fathers were necessarily in her life or that close to her based off a yearbook photo?
Aren't you close with all your fans that you take pictures with? You're not.
Well, she'll probably argue that a yearbook photo is much more intimate. Fair. But I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of people in there that she's not close with that are in those photos. Maybe she had to take those photos and they had to be included. You don't know. But if your form of journalism is just, I'm going to reasonably infer, especially with things that are not that inferable based off of simple photos, I don't think that's fair. Am I bugging on
You're not bugging, but also the other thing that happened is that whenever people speak like her, because she's eloquent, and we have a bias where people are eloquent. We right away think like, oh, that person 100% knows what they're talking about. Everything is uninterrupted. She knows she got the nose down packed. And we could see that in politics. Whenever people are stuttering,
how you doing, buddy?
Or Pearl Davis having a debate. If you're just looking at your notes,
hi, you okay? Is everything fine?
What you're talking about.
Compared to women, what's the number for women?
We are currently watching Abba and Preach review first episode of... Where the fuck did they come from? First episode of the documentary that Candace Owens made on Erica Kirk. And currently, I was expecting a little bit more spice, but I'm hoping that we will get there still, you know? To say I had a shit week would be an understatement. I feel you, buddy. But I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're holding up, man.
It's lower. Really? What is it?
To be fair, she didn't know what she was talking about. But in the way that she speaks, in the way that she's presenting herself, people are going to be like, she's speaking like it's the truth, so it must be.
They're confirming their biases.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't like Erica Kirk either, but I'm trying to be fair because I do want to see some evidence, okay?
Start with her birthday, okay? Give you another example here. Erica Franzfey, we are told, was born on November 20th, 1988 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Great, there's a newspaper relic announcing her birth 2 weeks later.
Yo, her name's not Erica Kirk here. Fucking, that's crazy.
It's Erica Lane Franzfey.
Isn't that suspicious, though?
Whoa.
Because she's pretending to be Erica Kirk now.
It's silly, but to be fair, Candace
I'm not
Owens
saying
do
anything.
the...
I think that's odd that she wasn't born Erica Kirk.
Would you say that we can confidently say that?
Don't mind me.
I know I'm not mad at you.
I like whenever I see the word Kent, I get excited. Let me stop.
By the way, it's just something to know about Good Samaritan.
Glad to see you again. Been doom spiraling watching the news, and these streams are a great distraction keeping me from doom spiraling. I am happy to provide pass. You caught us at the right time as well, because we were covering some America shit earlier, and it is not looking good, bro. But I'm happy to serve as a distraction. And I'm kind of curious where Candace Owens is going to go with this, because Candace Owens is fucking insane. Like, genuinely insane. I don't know if you guys have I showed you that long, she went on like a long-winded fucking speech about how Charlie Kirk went to a school for gifted children and he wasn't regular, he was a bit of a mutant, and they were grooming him because they determined that he has superpowers. She genuinely believes that Charlie Kirk was an X-Man. That's not a joke, that's genuinely where she's at. Like, she truly believes that Charlie Kirk was a mutant with superpowers. This is not a normal person.
Hospital, a little fun fact, that actually used to be the U.S. Marines Hospital. One that once upon a time caused a little bit of a scandal for unethically experimenting on brains of patients.
This is another thing she does. She'll just insert these random facts and let you connect the dots. Like, if you have a conspiratorial mind, you'll hear that and be like, Erica Kirk is a fucking experiment manufactured by the government. Like, it is the perfect bait. The way she just throws it in.
And she never said that.
But she does just enough to be like government spy, you know.
Anyway, the story goes that the U.S. Marine Hospital just up and decided to gift the hospital to the Catholic Sisters of Charity out of the goodness of their Marine hearts or something. Because our military is known for that, just being really, really kind and giving up.
Even this is such an odd thing to say, because yes, government groups oftentimes.
Chris, why aren't you streaming Requiem? Because it comes with the Nouveau attached to it, unfortunately, which I was hoping it might not, although I Didn't hold my breath, and it looks like I was correct in not doing so.
Will donate their facilities if they don't think they can reasonably sell it, or if the upscale, the renovations required make it a very unsellable prospect, or if there's a deal with the city and so the government's going to hand it over to a group who can manage it. It's a hospital. It's going to help save people. It's not that odd for
I
them
do.
to offload it.
How else am I going to play it?
Outdated or old. And
I'm not paying $90 for a video
game.
They
don't stay in the same spot. Actually, we had a huge amount of changes to how military bases were set up like 20 to 30 years ago. And the main reason was they needed to change their defense strategy to put their bases in optimal places. So they consolidated the base or the hospital in a different spot. But her just dropping this there without like doing the extra research and then just leaving this kind of open-ended fact and going, isn't it odd? Isn't it weird? It's like, no. There's plenty of buildings that get donated at times, or if the facilities are really old, and they just kind of get given away to groups who can handle it.
Yeah, but she's not saying it's weird. She's asking you if it's weird. Do you? Connect the dots.
Let's stick with Grandpa Carl Kenneth Fransve for a little bit, because he is, by all accounts, obviously Swedish. Erica herself is therefore Syrian Lebanese on her mother's side and Swedish on her father's side. So something which struck me as immediately odd about Erica is just how deeply she identifies as Swedish, despite her public insistence that she was raised by a quote-unquote single mother. Think about that just from a social perspective. If Erica was indeed raised by a single mother, wouldn't you expect her to identify more deeply with those Lebanese Syrian roots, right?
Myron Gaines exists. And he was raised by 2 black parents, and he identifies with white supremacists.
If she resented her Swedish roots, like my dad didn't do anything, and so I'm not even doing anything with the Swedes. I don't even like being Swedish. To the contrary, Erica feels so deeply attached to her Scandinavian roots that in 2019 she moved to begin the process of obtaining her dual citizenship.
See, like, even this framing as if there's no like other reasonable explanations, but I know plenty of people who are ostracized by one side of the family and still identify with that ethnically. It's not abnormal at all. They feel like their identity is bad, so they want to identify with the part of them that they feel like is most socially acceptable or good with the worldview that they have.
Also, don't know how much that plays in for Erica specifically, but she doesn't look Lebanese, does she? So there's probably going to be a bit less of identifying with that specific ethnic group because she doesn't look like that specific ethnic group. She looks more like the other one that she does identify with, right? So presumably, it just makes sense, doesn't it?
How many times have I known kids who were black, raised by 2 white parents, and they identify more with their black side?
I know a couple of white girls that identify well, but anyways, never mind. It's fine.
I don't mind that she's asking questions. What I don't like is she's inferring conclusions based off a lack of evidence. To be honest with you, she looks more Swedish than she does Arab too. So it ain't like she's gonna be accepted by the Arabs anyways. If you
she's
real.
not now.
And someone says, not Abba siding with Erica, the Epstein child pimp. It's not me siding with her.
That's when people
you
do
can't
that.
say you can't say someone's guilty and then show up with shoddy evidence and then not be scrutinized. There's a reason why we have courts. There's a reason why we have the law. If you want someone to be guilty, that's fine. I already told y'all I don't like Erica, but you can't show up with shitty proof and then show that to me and then go like, well, if you don't believe the shitty proof, something's wrong with you. No, something is wrong with you because you don't care about the veracity of evidence. You don't care whether or not this shit is like well-sourced or anything. You're fine with shitty investigations if you think the party who's guilty is going to get done in. You don't actually care about well-investigated or good journalism. You want people to do garbage and then find people guilty with that. If that's what you want for your life, that's fine. But I promise you, when it's you on the other end one day, when it's one of your people that you like at the hands of a shitty investigation, you have no leg to stand on.
And the thing that happened is that whenever you have a shitty investigation, that's where everything that you wanted to happen to that person that's probably guilty is going to fall. O.J. Simpson. Shitty investigation. Dude did it. Because you cannot do something like that, get away, and then write a book that says, after that saying, if I did that, this how I would have done it. Come, again, that's not proof. But the investigation was shitty.
Someone said she never said she's guilty at all. Candace has spent this whole time heavily implying it with everything under the sun. She's pretty much implied that the people at TPUSA
Fanatic still defends OJ? Wait, does he
the thing
really?
That she's levying against them is not like...
I didn't know he does
Erica
that. That's a weird thing to do.
It's much more insidious than that. So pretending like all this is not to say that Erica Kirk isn't some kind of plant or some government operative or involved in some scheme is dishonest.
It is.
She's not doing a 10-part documentary series because she thinks Erica Kirk is quirky, because she's a bad actress. She's doing this because she thinks something much more nefarious, and that's what her audience understands. Bro, people are literally driving me crazy on both sides with this shit.
She definitively was close to her grandfather. We know this because she posts about him many, many times over the years, referring to him affectionately as her morfar. In 2016, she's posting this, and she again is going to address him as her morfar. You see, I received a flurry of emails from our fans in Sweden about this particular post, and they did not like this post. And then they explained it to me a little further. They said, no, Candace, the Swedish language is quite literal here. Morfar quite literally translates into mother's father, morfar. And farfar quite literally translates into father's father. We have different words for these things. These have entirely different meanings. You would never call your father's mother your morfar. You would never call, and that's what she's doing. She's calling him her morfar. That is Erica's farfar. If Kent is her father, her father's father is her father.
That is too many she used that word too many times in one sentence. That is... What the fuck am I listening to right now? What is the problem here, Candace? Which bit of this is the issue? Actually, I was here to explain the farfar thing. He'd be molding in chat right now.
Farfar. She said, the woman emailed this, she said, no Swedish grandfather would ever allow you to refer to him as morfar if he was not actually your morfar, okay? If he was your farfar, he'd say, very cute, I'm your farfar, let's get that straight.
I'm not gonna lie, I was laughing this whole section. I was going, morfar, farfar, farfar, farfar.
Morfar, farfar.
So I guess because the grandparent she identifies with and calls her mother's father actually come from her father's side, which she claims she's not close to at all.
Mm-hmm.
And they think it's really weird because it's a little translation and it's not right the way she's using it.
It's just wrong. It's just wrong. Words have meaning. So why is her very Swedish grandfather, so Swedish, this line of Freemasons, Masons Swedish, allowing Erica to call him my mother's father? Lori's father? No, that's not.
It's also not Swede. So it's just a bad translation. It could be a bad translation. Hey, there was a point in Spanish that I thought black person was pichumayate. It is not. Don't use that word to say black. That is crazy.
It's possible. Well, I mean, you would imagine her grandparents would probably correct her if it was an issue, right? So if she was saying it wrong, her grandparents would correct her. And so I get what you're saying, but her grandparents are Swedish. Why didn't they say anything when she would say the wrong word?
She's stupid. Maybe they, I don't know.
Here's another alternative. If she, let's say I'm taking Erica at her word and she wasn't close to her dad, okay? It's possible that she didn't want to use the correct term because it would acknowledge her father, who she doesn't want to include in the equation. So it's possible that the parents had a relationship with Erica through the mother, and so they would just call her morfar. That's a possibility. I'm just saying, all of these things are all these like little oddities, but they're not unexplainable and they're not like explainable.
I'll be honest with you, when Candace Owens announced that she's doing a deep fucking investigation into Erica Kirk and all of the truth is going to come out, and that was shortly after she was telling us all that Charlie Kirk was actually a gifted child trained in Mutant Skull into dominating the world with his psychic ability, I thought that she's going to be dropping some fucking nukes of knowledge. I thought we're going to find out that Erica Kirk and JD Vance are actually the same person. It's just, fuck me. I thought she's going to find out that Erica Kirk is just JD Vance in a wig and makeup and Charlie Kirk never knew. And JD Vance is just so fucking good at his drag persona that he somehow literally managed to trick Charlie Kirk into that, like he's given birth to 3 different kids. I thought it was going to be some proper spicy shit, and it isn't. He's fucking boring as shit. Far more bollocks. Who gives a fuck?
By the most far-fetched ideas. People's family relationships are odd. I've seen people call someone their grandparent, and they were never their grandparent. It was just the old geezer who raised them, okay? And it's people have that. People call people uncles, aunts, cousins, and they have no blood relations whatsoever.
I'm Uncle
So
Priest.
the idea that like words have meaning and they're always...
That is true, and I fucking hate that. Do you know how many aunts I've got that I've realized in my adulthood are not actually my aunts at all? Those were just my mum's friends, and they just all agreed that they're going to introduce them as my aunts to me and just never told me that they're not. Like, it's just like why are you lying to me, you know? Like, why are you lying? Why the fuck are you lying? What's the point of that? Why can't you just be my mum's friend? That's allowed, no? Why do you have to be my aunt?
clearly defined. And so you would only use the familiar term. I've seen people call folks their brother or their sister or whatever it could be. There's no blood relation. Is that everyone being really weird or stupid? I don't think so. You know I'm dying? Like, read in the chat are like, Abba's part of Turning Point. Abba's like Erica Kirk's. Have you not seen how many videos we've made shitting on that lady? I had so many people send me threats because of what I said about Charlie Kirk after his passing. It is so stupid to see our catalog of videos, see how we've talked about Charlie Kirk, which is no glowing terms, I never liked the man, and think I'm somehow bought out by TPUSA.
March 21st of 2019, Erica visits with Charlie. She's in Jerusalem with Charlie, what is known as Zion's Gate in Jerusalem. She posts a picture with a pretty curious caption. It reads in part, meet Darla, a Romanian Jew that now calls Israel home. She was sitting by my family's dedication sign for restoring the Zion Gate in Jerusalem. What? Why is Erica describing the Zion's Gate as her family's dedication? Speaking of which, why does her one-time roommate, Nicole Rothstein, allege that half of their family, referring to her and Erica's family, is Jewish? Doesn't make sense. Nicole Rothstein would be Erica's father's, sister's, husband's.
I am so bored. I thought this was... the conspiracy is that she might be part Jewish, eh? Bro. What's aunt in Polish? Ciocia. Yeah, what Bibi just said. No Polish mother's friends are your aunts. Sorry, I have 8 aunts myself. I think, yeah, it's the Polish people definitely have a weird thing going on with that. Because I remember ages ago, back when I used to play World of Warcraft, there was a dude in my guild who had a kid. And one time the kid was, it was a small kid. I think he might have been, how old is a child when it kind of can speak, but like it's very clearly not good at it yet? But like it understands, it hears, it talks. He was teaching it something in WoW when we were all in Discord, and I remember he introduced all of us because the kid heard us through his earphones and was asking like who we are, and he introduced us as his uncles. And so it must be like a thing that people in Poland just fucking do for some reason, but it's a weird thing to do, isn't it? Like 4 or 5? Yeah, around that age. Toddler? Toddlers can't... Is 4 or 5 a toddler? I don't know. 4 or 5. Let's just say 4 or 5. This is not integral to the story. The bottom line just really is that, like, he introduced us as uncles, and it was just kind of weird. Hey, Hog, how you doing? I shall not show you my hog. Yet, my friend. The fuck was I just hit by? Oh, that cunt up there. You became an uncle out of the
Previous
blue?
wife's daughter's daughter. In other words, zero
Kinda.
blood relation, not even kind of related, kind of crazy. You would even call each other cousins. People do that. It's cool with my cousins, my cousin. Okay, cool. I'll show you on the family chart just how removed this is. It's insane. Okay, we actually couldn't even fit it. It's so far removed. So you got her aunt, Carla, is married to a guy named Jack, but Jack was also previously married to somebody else, which you see there named Edna. And this is Edna and Jack's line. This has nothing to do with Erica Franzwe. Again, how did she get so close to these people?
Yeah, but...
I need you to understand, Candace Owens is a multi-millionaire, chat. She's a multi-millionaire. And I feel like I'm getting a fucking aneurysm. Oh, he said yet, one day. One day. Oh no, is that my monthly OnlyFans subscription?
Month 3 of OnlyFans subscription.
Oh yeah, thank you for the $3, my friend. One of these days it's gonna pay off, and you ain't even gonna know, man. My best friend told me to drink less because he can't have his son's uncle be such an alcoholic or whatever, Libera. Warsaw bullshit he tried to tell me. I mean, you should drink less, right? Unironically, you should drink less. Not for his kid or whatever the fuck. But you should definitely drink less, man.
You need to tell us that. That's your job. Did they hang out every Sunday? Did they spend summers together? Did they send letters on a regular basis? Like, why are they calling each other cousin? They're not blood related. People do that all the time. I'm having a hard time because she's talking like this is crazy evidence and there's nothing there other than huge assumptions. Have you heard anything wild so far?
No, but the thing that happened is that, listen here, brother. Fuck, I called you brother and you're not my brother. What are we gonna do? Everything that she's saying is possible. It's just the proof is not proofing. The proof is not proofing. It's not strong enough for me to be like, aha. It's not a gotcha moment.
I've seen these content creators. I'm pretty sure even Candace has probably called other.
My reaction to Lovin's being so public and offering sponsorship to Face Connect members. I've used Lovin's before. I've got a Max. Fuck, I can't remember what it's called. I've got a male sex toy with it. It comes with the function where whoever on the other end really can control it remotely. Back when I was in a long distance relationship with my fiance and when we were, sexting, doing porn online, just to one another, of course. We used to use it a decent amount. I do quite like it. It's a decent toy, especially for the price. If I remember correctly, it was actually on the cheaper side of things. I would be happy with a Lovin sponsorship. I feel like. I mean, frankly, I'd be happy with any sponsorship, but for that, I have to actually stop being lazy with my content. You mean like a plastic vulva toy? No.
Content creators, her brother.
If you Google Lovin's Max, it should be the first one that
pull it
pops
up
up.
in the next episode, but there's like no way. I've seen so many content creators like this talk about other people
Yeah,
in their
Lovin's
political
Max too.
sphere,
That's
like
the one I've
family.
got.
They use familiar terms. Again, this is episode 1. Maybe she's gonna connect the dots, but I just want to say, based off of all the assumptions you make in episode 1, I don't really see it.
Shout outs to Wakakuna that said Myron calls people daddy all the time, and when they emoji like that.
That's funny. That's funny.
That's funny.
That's funny. Someone wrote, Snoop Dogg calls everyone nephew.
And everybody calls Snoop uncle.
People call me uncle.
Yeah, because you're uncle. You're old.
What is factual is that Jack Solomon eventually marries Carla Bronsfay in 2002. And there are also some other really interesting facts about Jack. Jack and Erica's mommy aunt, I don't know, Carla, live in Utah. He graduated from what is today known as Utah Valley University. He's very involved in the university. At the very least, you'd think with all of the money that he poured into that university, he might be able to call someone to get us more footage of Tyler Robinson. Or Carla. How about Carla? She's married to the man. She could have maybe, in my imagination, made it to the hospital when Charlie was shot and killed. I mean, why did none of them make it to the hospital? They're all so nearby. She still lives in Utah. This happened in their backyard. Their family has a lot of power at UVU. Why not Auntie Carla rather than Stacey Sheridan accompanying you onto Air Force 2 as your husband's body is escorted to Arizona?
Bro.
Again, a lot of questions. How old are they? Are they even moving? What did they hear? What did they know? This whole section was just off for me because it raised a lot of questions, but it didn't really answer too many of them. She starts to go into some of her schooling and academic history.
All right, now for some fun, because remember when they were freaking out about me discussing time travel, me discussing specifically Project Looking Glass, the CIA thing that actually happened. They allegedly stole Sumerian technology to peer into the future. Well, you have to imagine my surprise.
That actually happened. They allegedly stole Sumerian technology to peer into the future. What the fuck am I? Now we get into the good shit. This is the Candace Owens that I've come here for. Come on, bring it on, Candace. I want to hear about the time-traveling FBI agents. This is the shit that I'm here for. Bring it on.
When I began looking into Erica's early years, for some reason, I was under the impression, maybe you were too, but Erica moved to Arizona after her parents' divorce. So that would put her in Arizona after 1998. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt here because it's a minor wrinkle.
Too late for that, Amp.
Her parents didn't divorce until she was 10, but it's totally...
The positive feedback loop on this is like a fucking anaconda, bro. You are not getting past that. I am not getting past that. At this point, we have two options. We can either be sad about it or we can chuckle along to it, and I'm going with option number 2, man.
Also, like when you're a kid and your parents are separating many times before they get divorced, that you associate a divorce with the separation.
Well,
anyway.
can you even know he's bipolar? He's diagnosed. I don't believe Candace is.
And I think that makes sense. Yeah. There's a million possibilities for why you might say someone is divorced when they might be going through the process and it takes a long, lengthy time. Okay?
For the same time that when I was a kid, my teacher was asking us what our parents were doing, and I said my dad was a doctor. My dad is not a doctor. My dad was a nurse. I'm 7. I don't know what the fuck the difference is. I know they all go in that big establishment that's called an hospital. So from the time that you actually signed the papers of divorce and the time that you divorced, when you...
She did a 4-part series during the election about how Kamala wasn't born in America. She's been unhinged for a while. She's been unhinged for a lot longer than that as well. I feel like that's like the fucking... when I was telling you earlier that she was talking about how Charlie Kirk went to a school for gifted children because the powers that be have determined him to have mutant superpowers of intelligence. I'm not shitposting. That's an actual segment of her stream. You can find that still. She is fucking mental.
Say divorce and you're calling it a divorce, daddy's not home.
Mm-hmm. And I thought that was necessary, and I just wish that same standard was applied to all the other locations. Because there are times where she just went with the first instinct of the conspiratorial, isn't that weird? And never gave the other side of what the possibilities were. But here she does, and there is a reasonable explanation. And I think if she's gonna do this whole journalistic thing, where she's gonna ask these questions, she has to fill in the blanks. She gotta give me a bit more than just a question. Because everyone, the viewers, can ask questions. We want to know what the answers are. And it's crazy because she does so much research. She'll pull up yearbooks. She'll pull up court records, old newspapers from 1930s. And I'm like, that's amazing. But when she gets to the question and she poses this very open-ended question, there's no more research beyond that to fill in the blank.
The point of having all those things, all those artifacts, is not so much to be able to understand a story, but it's you have the narrative before you have the evidence. So you're just gathering evidence to prove your narrative.
Yep.
You're not building all this and searching thoroughly through everything that you found to find a narrative. You're just, hey, my narrative, this fits my narrative, this doesn't, this, and you're just putting together what fits, and you're making it work. It's not because it fits that it belongs.
Has Chris saw the weird worm robot on Twitter that looked like an adult toy? So many VTubers will meme it. The soft limbless robot that was supposed to... I did see it, yeah. I thought it was... I saw it, and then I thought to myself, huh. And then I kind of just carried on, you know? I didn't have the... it didn't dawn on me until a little bit later that this would be a fucking banger of a sex toy. But yeah, I was... I saw it. I saw it for sure, Kathy. What did you think about it?
I'm nosy. I tracked down the yearbooks. I mean, I was working really hard while I was off. I don't have every year yet, but I do have some years, 1995 to 1996 in first grade, 1996 to 1997 in second grade, and 1997 to 1998, which is her in third grade. I gotta tell you, I am so glad that I found this Tesseract. I didn't get to time travel with it. I don't think I did. You think they saw me in the looking glass? How panicked were they when I said looking glass? Whoa, no, she's talking about Project Looking Glass. That's crazy. Meanwhile, they're down in Arizona, like naming their schools Project Looking Glass, like Looking Glass Tesseract. Put them in the school. I just love that. It was like an accidental troll. But
what is she talking about?
Very exciting about finding her at this school is that
the only way I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons is if she's a dungeon master. The stories would be amazing, bro.
Hold up, there's a key word with D&D. It's called fantasy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think it's soft enough. That can be worked on, you know. That's just a matter of the material.
You're going to be rolling D20s for your actual
doable.
life.
Yeah, but imagine if that's her real life. I want to see what's her fantasy, though.
I don't think there's a difference. I think that's what's scary.
Hence my point. Hey, this girl should be a dungeon master for real, for real.
I mean, wow. Speaking to people who went to that school, the one in Paradise Valley, to be very clear, there's other Tesseracts. It got shut down. The one I'm talking about got shut down in the year 2000.
The last time I've heard the word Tesseract be used, genuinely, was the first Avengers movie. Like, a hand to fucking God, that was the last time I've heard the word Tesseract.
Then...
Not the Interstellar movie. Was the word Tesseract used in Interstellar? I've watched that movie a bunch of times. I don't remember Tesseract being used as a word.
other schools, because they had other schools, kept going. They changed ownership, but this one
fair enough then, people. Fair
was
enough.
there for a very small
In that
amount
case,
of
that
time.
would have been the last
I'm looking
one.
at the yearbooks, and
Tesseract is a 4-dimensional cube. Your mother is a 4-dimensional cube. Dab, 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 fucking wrecked. Absolutely walked into that one. Obliterate. Another liberal just fucking destroyed. You, Chad, have witnessed murder.
there are some interesting
Vosh,
players
delete the
involved
lolly,
in
Vosh.
this school that kind of went down for fraud. Just robbing the piggy bank. It's like a recurring theme. We're going to stop here, though, because that's a lot.
I thought we were finally going to get something juicy like...
Cliffhanger is great.
But, you know, that's why I'm going to watch.
She knows how to
I'm going to
tell a
watch at
story.
least 4 episodes to see if she connects all these dots with concrete proof. First episode for me was, again, as a giant Erica Kirk hater, I thought it was a bit of a dud. It raised some questions of like, why did this yearbook say that? And why was her marriage certificate wrong here, but here? But, like I said, it's the first episode. I just think generally if you're going to do this, you got to give folks something that's concrete to let them know that this is not just going to be a bunch of open-ended questions. So am I optimistic? Not really, but I will watch with an open mind because I hate Erica Kirk and give me the fuel, baby. I like more content. I just don't think this is it.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
And it's more like a Michael Jackson take on what's going on with Erica Kirk. That's pretty much one. Why? I can't say that because of the,
That's right.
Copyright is crazy. But that's what it was. It was a bunch of questions that you have to fill in the blank. It's like when I do a documentary, when I watch a documentary, I want the answers. I don't want it. This is unsolved.
If Candace Owens
mystery.
was a dungeon master, you know there would be goblins, there'd be bankers, and they would look like / be named in a very particular way. You're probably not wrong. She would... Dude, I would... Obviously, this would be bad for humanity, but I would be so interested in seeing Candace Owens play D&D with fucking J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling? I don't remember what the fuck to pronounce her surname, actually. But I would want to see that, you know? I'd be so there for it.
Back then with William Shatner, when this thing happened and we don't know why. You're always left on a cliffhanger and stuff like that. If I look at a documentary...
When we see Candace Owens drinking ayahuasca, dude, I cannot think... Whenever somebody says... It's like fucking ingrained in my brain. Whenever someone says ayahuasca, it reminds me, there was this bodybuilder dude. He was never liked, but it was quite popular when I was younger. And then he went on a few of those trips with ayahuasca, and when he came back, he was like fucking insane. He'd go on, like he started drinking his own piss as means of like increasing his something. I don't remember how exactly it was, but he was drinking piss, bro. That shit fucks with your brain.
He did it. I want to know that he did it at the end. I don't want to be like a bunch of whys that I filled in. Like when I put a documentary on, this is my downtime. I'm not supposed to do some work like, oh, wait.
Roger that, baby. I will
I don't
next
want to do
time.
none of that.
What's your take on Erica Kirk? Why don't you like her? I mean, there's so many reasons not to like her. She's clearly a fraud. She's uncomfortable to watch. It looks like a constant act in a performance. She's utilizing her husband's death for profit. It is like the
Hey,
fakest
Marak, how are you
fake
doing?
Christian
No idea what
bullshit
that
I've
is.
ever seen.
100%.
Where you use the dead to talk about Jesus and why you need millions in merch sales. The fuck are y'all talking about? I can't even believe it. Erica Kirk is so nasty. She has me feeling bad for Charlie Kirk, which is like, even that's only like a mid, and I don't like the dude, but if I died and that's how my wife was, shit, my whole life was a sham. Well, there's plenty of reasons to dislike this.
That is, I remember talking to my fiance about like Erica Kirk's behavior after Charlie Kirk had died, and I was saying, if I die before you, whatever way you like choose to mourn me, please don't do it like this. Like please do not, okay? I might not be perfect. I have my own faults, right? There's fucking dirty laundry that I leave in the wrong places. I'm not that great a cook. She does a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to the cleanliness of the house. I understand I've got my shortcomings. I've got big pros as well, okay? But I understand I'm not perfect, but I do not deserve that. Charlie Kirk didn't deserve that. You know what I mean? That still fucking saddens me.
Woman, and the way that she goes about stuff and her using grief for her political aims. But yeah, I think it's kind of disgusting, irrespective of what political aisle you're on, to use the dead this way, especially when they're your own flesh and blood. Yeah. It goes beyond politics for me. For me, it's just like a family thing.
They gone. I can't make a little money out of them?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, ugh.
It's a little money.
A little.
I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps
Charlie
like
Kirk did
bumping
preach
up
the
like
philosophy
crazy.
of if I die, I don't want anyone to mourn
200,000 in merch
to me.
sales on Saturday. You guys are so.
If you look at all of her stakes, I'm not aware of that one specific. I mean, Charlie Kirk was a piece of fucking shit, right? Like, obviously, at the end of the day, I don't really feel bad about any of this. But I'm just saying, like, on a human level, on the, like, the empathy in me, which makes me put myself in that scenario, thinking about being Charlie and then having, like, my wife do what Erica Kirk is doing is just fucking sad. Like, a genuinely fucking sad thing.
Amazing. This is like 5 days after Charlie's dead.
Crazy.
That's crazy, bro. Everything she's doing, and then I gotta have fucking Christian YouTubers hit me up. It's unacceptable the way y'all talking about Erica. Maybe if y'all stop lying to your audiences just because this lady's a Christian, maybe people wouldn't fucking think you're a fraud too.
What the fuck? Wait, I'm supposed to be the one talking shit about Christianity.
I don't talk shit about.
Don't take my shit.
No. I didn't do that. I didn't talk shit about Christianity. I talked it about the Christian YouTubers. It's very different.
You're right.
But
it's because of the church.
Yeah. And I'm tired of people being like, you can't criticize a widow. She's a CEO of one of the most important political charities in the world. Shut the fuck up.
I like how they end their videos. It's always a joy. We've got a quiz, chat. The liberal quiz. Do we want to do the liberal quiz? This is going to be a boss fight, isn't it? Oh, come back alone. Okay, so it's just when I'm done with the quest portion, I'm to come back here. That's alright, that's alright. Oh, so yes, I can criticize a widow, actually. Yes, as a matter of fact, you are allowed to do that. Particularly if it's a widow like Erica Kirk. Because, like, let's be real, okay? She's creepy as fuck. I'd be very fucking weary of being around her. Like, she's just such a genuinely bizarre person. Turbo Normie one-shotted by the most potent mind-bending chemical in all of existence. That is accurate though, right? Is ayahuasca actually like the most potent one? I don't know much about it, to be quite honest with you. I've read that like a lot of people have genuinely gone fucking insane after taking it. But I don't know if it's like the most potent or would be the most potent. I just know from what I've heard, it's just not. Just don't go there, you know what I mean? Is it? I feel like LSD would be the answer, or testosterone maybe. I don't know how much, from what I've heard, and again, this is just, I'm going purely off of vibes here. From what I've heard, I don't know how much test you'd have to take to get the kind of results that people get from fucking ayahuasca. Like, because it fucking mind breaks people. It's the same level of, this gives people the level of mental anguish that Sneeko got when he was watching his girlfriend get piped by another dude so hard that both her and the man that was fucking her forgot he's in the room. Like, this is fucking story arc changing kind of shit. Like, you're not normal after this happens. This is a fundamental shift in your existence. The very fibers of your being are changed in a way you cannot come back from. I wonder how that's been measured. I genuinely have no idea. some reason, I feel like the only way that I feel that way is because I just heard a lot of fucking insane stories about it. There is a Soviet benzo that made people realize they were high after 2 weeks when they lost their jobs and got protection warrant from their exes. That's a strong benzo right there. Is that like is that the shit that Jordan Peterson was on? Because Jordan Peterson went through some fucking changes. Benzos are fucking evil. The ones that he was on certainly are. In the USSR, they also used to make drugs from Popeyes. I will have you know that cannot be correct because Popeyes wasn't around back then. It is a modern chain of restaurants and they make fucking amazing burgers. On DMT, I stood on the ceiling and looked down at myself for 15 minutes, which felt like 2 hours, but on acid, the whole world feels different and it lasts for so long. Bro-hide. I don't have any experiences like that because I'm a good Christian boy and I don't really... The hardest drug I've ever done is weed, bro. That's fucking entry level shit right there. I always kind of like, in the back of my mind, I always kind of wanted to try the harder stuff, but then I was given opportunities time and time again. And when I was given those opportunities, I was always like, I'd rather play on my computer, you know? Like, you can do this, and I'll be in the room over there, and I'll be playing my video game, and if you start dying in the process and need medical assistance, just, like, communicate that across some type of way. I'll be checking in every 15 minutes, and you do you. Popeyes burgers. Everything about Popeyes I quite like. But yeah, the burgers are very good, man. In here, they're fucking banger. They do a spicy chicken sandwich, and I fucking love that sauce. That's a chicken sandwich, not a burger. You Americans are weird about your labels. Comes between 2 pieces of fucking bum. Bum. Nice one. Comes between 2 pieces of bum. Not that I wouldn't have that necessarily. I can totally think of a scenario where I'd be into that. Comes between 2 pieces of bun. There's a little bit of salad on there. It's a burger, bro. The name for burger comes from meat, not the bread. Over there it does. Over here, nobody gives a fuck. That's specifically why you'd have a chicken burger and a beef burger, right? You wouldn't call the chicken one a sandwich. Although, to be fair, here in Popeyes, it is actually called that on the menu. It's called a chicken sandwich, not a burger. But everyone calls it a burger because people don't give a fuck. Didn't it come from over there? Hamburg? No, I think that's a bunch of bullshit. It's the same with how, like, it's called French fries, but those aren't, like, they don't come from France. They have fuck all to do with France. It's literally no connection. Calling chicken burger a sandwich is so fucking funny. Yeah, I feel that as well, because if it's it's not a sandwich, is it? You make sandwiches at home. That's not what that is. The Germans love saying they invented it. Yeah, but Germans still use... Look, Germans still use faxes in the government, okay? And so does Japan, and so does Italy. And I'll be honest with you, I think they're just still trying to make up for Hitler. And that's just their way of saying sorry. But it's not good, it's not smart. They have been forgiven since. They can advance into the modern era. It's permitted. Oh, hold on. What is that, Unix? What is that? Oh, no. Oh no, fucking, do you guys want to witness annihilation? Do you want to witness absolute fucking decimation of a poor man who has done me no harm, no foul? The B in burger stands for beef. The R in red radius stands for retard. Oh, fucking wrecked. That fucking delayed sound effect. Oh, he did get absolutely fucking obliterated. Got him. Yes, I did, Unix. Absolutely fucking priceless clip. Because I'm fighting this dude now. Jesus, fuck. British food is probably better than Polish. There's something wrong with your head. We've known this for a while. It's not exactly news, but I do want it reaffirmed, you know. It's just like a sort of a for the record type of thing. In what world is British food going to be better than Polish food? The best food you can get in Britain is Chinese, or Italian, or a kebab, which to be fair is fucking banging. Kebabs are just brilliant all around. Or French. Oh, I don't like French cuisine personally. I do not like how fucking little damage I do to this dude. Might have to leave this one for later. I've just realized I landed a few fucking backstab combos there and his health was not moving. Oh. Pierogis is so fucking good. That is dumplings. It's Chinese. Chinese. So, does fucking China have monopoly on dumplings? Have I missed that lesson? Fucking call him names, chat. Call him names. You know you want to. Quick 1-minute video. Anything for you, Unix.
23, the number of months Gabby went without changing his pillowcase. When's the last time I changed my pillowcase? It would have been... Thank you for the gift sub. 2024? Well, then obviously when I moved to this...
He will die alone and stinky. I don't know who needs to hear this, okay? But this is like wash your balls level of comment. Change your fucking pillowcases. Change your pillowcases.
New place, I got a different pillowcase, so that's different. You should change it out every few days. Few days?
No.
That's so much effort.
Whoever's in chat telling him he should change it out every few days is full of shit, though. It's like, that's just a fucking global conspiracy by the people who make pillowcases to get you to buy more pillowcases. You do not need to change them out every few days. Fucking take a shower, wash your head, and you won't have to change your pillowcase every couple of days, you dirty bastard. Polish food is just wannabe German Ukrainian sellout. So many words in one sentence right there, and none of them correct. German Ukrainian sellout. German Ukraine. How did you figure that one out? How did you put that one together? What is that about, Chief? I might need you to walk me through the thought process there, Trix. Because maybe I feel like you're wrong, but more importantly, I'm just intrigued.
I mean, most of the time I sleep on the couch anyways, so I don't need to. You are not human? Okay, what does that make you? This stream is a prison? I can't believe Invader Mars's impact on this community is getting other people to say,
I'm not wrong as someone with Poland as their neighbor. You are very wrong. How would that work to be a mix of German and Ukrainian? First of all, Ukraine wishes they were Poland. And Germany, we just don't think about at all. That's just, Germany's like over there. What even is German cuisine? What even is German cuisine?
this stream is a prison.
That's the only thing that's coming to mind.
Oh, what about Invader Mars's cute art, like the Chili's art that they made? You know, what about the funny memes that they make? Nope. The fact that they always say this stream is a prison. Thanks.
True though. True. Gappy is many a things. Clean is just not one of them, it would seem. Change your fucking pillowcases, Gappy, bro. Hell yeah, Trix, you tell him. Globalize is full of shit. Globalize doesn't know anything. Polska górom. How much do you drink, BB? Hitler kaput? No, that's Polish. Hitler killed himself, so to be fair, the pros of killing Hitler, the credit still goes to Germany. It kind of done both on that one. On that one, Germany just gets the dub and the L. Just like an all-around, you know? Oh, fuck off. Okay, shit. Jesus. I was lucky. Hell yeah, Trix. You tell him. Yeah, where you from, Globalize? I bet you're not even globalizing in real time. I bet you're from fucking Swamp Germany or another shithole. Go on, Globalize, tell us where you're from, bitch boy. We're waiting. Not so confident now, are you? Lithuania. Do you mean the soon-to-be Great Commonwealth of Poland, Globalize? Is that what you mean? Because I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time until I become the God King of Poland, and when that happens, I'm bringing Lithuania back into the fold. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look into why the fuck so many words in your language end with AS. Is Poland annexing Lithuania? They're gonna have it so good when I'm in charge of Poland that it's not even gonna be an annexation. They're just gonna vote to join in, you know? Like, they're gonna want to be a part of the greatness. Just like Irish and Scottish are the same. Oh, bro, you say that in the wrong part of England and you're gonna get fucking stabbed. That's a rough thing to say. That has the same level of energy as those people who are saying that, like, it's all England. At least they have vowels. Look, just because you don't understand the greatness of the Polish language isn't a problem with the language, it's a problem with you. I'm sorry, okay, but it had to be said. But Poland is just the best, what can I tell you? We do love our Brzęczyszczykiewicza. There's a decent amount of that. Although I will say, compared to English at the very least, at least in Polish, with very few exceptions, you read the word exactly as it's written. It's a very phonetic language. With English, it might be easier to learn, might be easier to type in, although in fairness, it's one of those where it's a double-edged blade, because it is easier to learn, but as a result of that, when you don't put in the effort, you don't learn it, and half of the UK has not put effort into learning English. The amount of illiterate Englishmen in England who can't speak their language when it's the fucking international language, no less, is staggering. But it is an incredibly phonetic language, Polish, I mean. English is not like that at all. Monka Omega, phonetic? No, it's literally phonetic. You read things exactly as they're written, yeah. All countries bordering Russia should have nukes, true. Everyone gets one bomb, and if they use it, they don't get another one. I almost like that idea, Leonard. Chłopie, idź spać, prawie północ jest. 23:30 w piąteczek, chłopie. Czasu na wszystko wystarczy. Someone tell Chris about the end of the world. No, look, if everyone has one nuke, then there's not going to be an end of the world. Because I imagine it's going to be the end of the Middle East. I'll tell you that much, okay? That fucker's gone. The moment everyone gets one nuke, Middle East is no more. America's probably going to be fine. Poland would be okay as well. If I was in charge of Poland, I'd take over Lithuania, and then we would have 2 nukes. And maybe Lithuania wouldn't have any, but it wouldn't be Lithuania and Poland anymore. It would be the Polish-Lithuanian Republic. And we would have 2 nukes. Middle East would be fucking gone day one, though. No, like, unironically. How the hell did you read my last chat message? What do you mean? I read all chat messages that I see. I just don't respond to all of them. Did I clear this out? Can I think I did, right? Everything seems to be dead. Lithuania has many amazing Belarusian tractors that will wreck your tanks. There's no need for tanks. You keep thinking that this is going to be an invasion. Nah, bro. I'm just going to carry this shit through pure charisma. Just a nat 20 roll. And randomly bumped into a ninja. How do you say vypizdów? Just like that. Vypizdów. Krys becomes king of Poland. Krys becomes king of Europe. Krys becomes king of the world. I don't know. I was pondering that the other day. I don't know if I want to be the king of the world, okay? There's fucking shitholes out there as well. I'd probably do okay. But I don't know. I don't know if I would aim for the whole world, you know? Because the problem that you've got is that when you unite everything under one flag, it becomes ineffective at the end of the day. And I appreciate differences in culture. It just depends on what kind of differences we're talking, right? Like, it'd be strategic, but I don't think I'd be trying to take over the world. I'd carve out a chunk of it though. How both W's sound different? No, they don't. Wypizdów. Wypizdów. It sounds like they sound differently to you, because the first one is a V, like a very, very aggressive W, and the second W is what we call zmiękczone, which means that you say it, because you're trying to say it quickly, and V is like an aggressive sound, you will almost soften it to a F. An F, right? So wypizdów. Bober, kurwa. As a quick reminder, guys, if you haven't already, I highly encourage you to click the follow button. I am streaming on both Twitch and YouTube, although YouTube's a little bit slow today, but that's alright, that happens. If you aren't subscribed to me on YouTube, I highly encourage you to do so, and if you are watching me on YouTube and aren't following on Twitch, I encourage you to do that too. I currently try and stream every Wednesday and Friday, although with wedding preparation, everything else going on in my life, sometimes I manage to, sometimes I do not. I usually let people know whether I will be live or not in my Discord, so if you always want to know whether I will be streaming, join my Discord. I'm getting EP. Retake Futamata Castle. Do you know what? I feel like this is the retaking of the Futamata Castle might be the mission for Wednesdays, Krys. I will let you guys know in Discord. I will be doing an extra stream this week. I don't know if it will be tomorrow, Saturday, or if it will be Sunday, but I am doing an extra stream this week. I will let you know in Discord when it's locked in. And yeah, if you have a few hours spare this weekend that you want to spend yapping with me, be there or be square. I will be heading to bed for tonight, which means I'll be raiding us out, and I will talk to you again quite soon. Let's see, who can we raid? Hey, Nyara's live again. We can raid into Nyara. Talk to you guys soon. Drink plenty of water. Do not do anything I wouldn't do. And make sure you will be here when I'll be live again this weekend. Bye-bye now.